GRR also putting in higher lows, despite the fact that it looks consolidative. The dip trades into that 20 exponential moving average have all been bought up. So what do we got here on GRR? Let's see if we can weasel out some here near the whole dollar. So we got 87s. Yeah, let's go ahead and wait right here for the first out, and then we'll see if we can get something to the high side. So we'll keep an eye out on that one. I've only got one more out, though, for ASTS. So I've left this beak wetter, or this, not beak wetter, sorry, dip trade here below 29s. I don't know if this is valid anymore. I'm talking about this dip trade here on ASTS. I don't think it's valid only because it would breach a $29 area and does look like we had some support there. So I'm going to take that off. I don't need to have that on at the moment, that dip trade on ASTS. Let's take that bad boy off. Where is it? Show yourself. There we go. So we'll take that bad boy off, and then we'll see if it'll have us to the high side there at the 2/3 of a dollar. Back to GRR. So we'll see if this one can cross the whole dollar at 38. The higher low situation is not bad. It looks like it's bull flagging, but I don't want to be quick to make that assessment because it's been a very down day on this market. So, you know, and with the Russ as well being down 1 1/3%, you don't want to put too much stock into some of these area holds on these small cap gappers. So waiting at 95s, it's showing me 95s, but because of the spread, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer here, see if we can get something popping to the high side on GRR. Joseph, what do you got?
Yeah, good look there. Sure, I told you I got a new phone the other, well, it's not really new old one there, but I didn't really.
Is that an Apple?
Yeah, it is an Apple.
It's nice. What version of that?
12.
Okay, that's nice. All right.
We didn't really contribute to the super cycle that was supposed to happen, so we got the 12.
That's, you know where I was going with that, right?
Yeah. We didn't contribute to that. But I mean, with the old one, man, I was just running out of space. There was nothing left for storage. I remember I sent Neil a message, and then like because I had no space left, it just unloaded the app, right? I couldn't re-download it.
I hate that.
And at that point, I've already deleted half of everything on the phone.
Neil's so confused. He's like, what?
The other last week, it was, but it was in the morning time when I sent you a message. Would you say Ram? Would you say Ramin? I'm curious to know what you said.
Man, you guys don't even know what she just said to me in my ear, man. Oh my God, what I have to put up with.
But here we go. So
in this place,
Neil's just eating his apple and everything. But here we go. We're starting to trade higher here. On, I know Katina Man hit the money there. What are you in the Tesla?
It is.
Is it Tesla money? We're long to Nvidia again,
nice,
so he's in there.
Katina Man.
So he's crushing it. But also Tesla, this volume is starting to pick up here on Tesla. Tesla is starting to pick up on the lower time frames here, guys. So that's what we need in order for us to break through this resistance zone. As you can see, if we were to draw just a basic trend line right here, we can see that something that was acting as support can now act as prior resistance. So just that over-under look there. Again, not positioned overly well in this trade, because if I'm looking for an out, it has to be south of this consolidation phase, not in the middle of it, because the stock is trading in that. So that's exactly what we want to look for. We want to put stops lower. So RVR not the best. You want to get in the lower end of that range. Let's see if we can break through this resistance. If that volume is sustained, I think we get it here, Sharif.
All right, Joseph, finally man, I couldn't catch a dub if I put my life on it today, but we're catching a couple of dubs now. So GRR, we're long 84s, just took the print there at 15s, or sorry, at 10s. Now I'm waiting at, I took the print at 20s, excuse me. Now we're waiting at the 1/3 of a dollar, showing me 30s right now. So let's see that one. Now this one we did quite well on. I'm talking about Astis. Took out the high of the day there, baby, at 66s. Shout out to Randy. So ASTS continuing to move up, continuing to put higher lows and higher highs. So, oh, wow, there it goes.
Let's go, Tesla.
Get it, man. You're in Tesla?
Yeah.
TSLA,
bang. Let's go TSLA. We like this one. I opened up my charts this morning, and I'm like, Sharif, wow, this thing's at $11? Like, what? $11. I'm in TSLA at 11. Yeah, hit the dollar club, bro. 11.
Hey.
I love that track. I need that full song, man. Yeah.
Plus another 2 for Nvidia.
Plus another 2. Don't forget the Nvidia trade there. We don't want to forget that one there. But here we go, guys. Starting to piece them out here above those ranges. Volume is sustained here on this breakout. This is exactly what we need. Continue there, my guy.
Yes, sir. Okay, so we're still waiting here for GRRR to wet the beak at the third of a dollar. It's showing me the third now. Give me the print, bro. It's showing me 32s. I'm waiting at 33s. We'll pack our patience. We'll see what comes for this bad boy right now. Oh, there it is. Bang! We take out the print. Bang. Now we're going to wait the half dollar. Show me the half dollar, Joseph. So now we're going to wait there. Let's see if we can get something at the half dollar. And bang! We take it out at the half dollar. Let's wait. You know where I'm going to wait now. 69. The print goes. Let's see if we can get that bad boy on GRRR. Oh, we're out of
No, you
shares.
did. Oh, I thought you were going to go.
No, we're out of shares.
We're just going to call
we're out of shares.
We're just going to call it the Devin Haney from now on.
Devin Haney sucks. I hope there's not too many Devin Haney fans in the chat, but he's not my favorite. He's not my favorite.
But I was saying that to you yesterday. How is this guy the champion of the division, and then he's the co-main event of the
sitting there flaunting an undefeated record? Bro, you got knocked out, man.
You lost, man.
Shut up.
It's crazy how who is it that revoked Ryan's win there?
It was Nevada.
Exactly. Yeah, the Nevada State.
Yeah, I always thought that was interesting, Joseph. Why can't he go to like another country that doesn't abide by the Nevada State, whatever the U.S. rules for boxing?
Ryan?
Yeah, like remember?
Yeah, he could have. He could have went and fought in.
Remember
Saudi,
when Ali, when they stripped him of the belt in the 70s because he wouldn't he wouldn't fight in Vietnam?
Yeah.
And then he had to go fight elsewhere. He went to Zaire back in the day. It was called Zaire.
He could have done. Ryan could have went to.
That's what I'm saying. Why didn't he do that?
Because he's busy doing other things. Let's see what Adair's up to. Let's go.
Keep an eye here on CARR. We have reports here. Apparently, Barron's magazine has chosen Carrier Global, CARR, as a tariff winner pick. So I guess the name that's likely to benefit or at least not be hurt as much by tariffs, CARR pushing to the upside. So keep an eye on Carrier Global. Back to you. Back to Dash Brothers.
Pretty much Adara. All right, guys, still keeping an eye here on GRRR, but I want to let you know that MLGO, that one that we were involved in earlier, just broke out, not into the high of the day. Excuse me, MLGO, there we go. So there was a consolidative range here at 10s, and you don't need to be a chartered market technician to see that it kept rejecting off 10s. So that's where I wet the beak there initially, and then it kind of got right back in there, rejected again, got back in there again, rejected. All the while it was rejecting, it was putting in these higher lows, okay? So right now, look at this. It clears it. It goes up to 4.25, drops back down, defends 10. 10 was resistance. Now it's looking like it's local support. So I'm going to try to get in here, okay? We're going to give this one an opportunity again. Let's see where we're long. We're long 19s. I'll DCA into 10. In fact, let's throw those orders out now. We're going to sit at 15s. We're going to sit at 11s, no, 12s, front run that. So we'll see if we can get something here on MLGO now that it's cleared the level. It doesn't breach any of my rules punching in here. It's above VWAP. It's above the pre-market high, but it has been a bamboozler, okay? That's the way I perceive it to be. So let's go ahead and throw out a couple of orders over here. We're going to wait at the $0.25, which is this area high, so it's going to have to clear that little high there for us to get printed. It's up 9% on the day. I don't mind, again, as I mentioned, DCing into this, but it's going to have to be in the 10s, and then it's going to have to hold up there. Otherwise, I'll get stopped out. Simple as that. Astis continuing to dance around the high of a day, but this is the one I want to talk about. GRRR is continuing to go. So we're done this trade over here because, well, we didn't have enough shares, but it does look like it's on its way to 39, guys. So a nice curl over here defends generally that 37.5. It did wick below there, obviously, but look at the closing prints are all in and around 37.5. And then we got I don't want to call it a rounded bottom because it's not at a bottom, but it does look like kind of a bull flag with a weird shape of a bowl rather than kind of a pennant or, an upward or downward channel, which is typically what we're used to with these bull flags. So definitely interested in GRRR. It's relatively strong on the day. There it goes again into 39s. Joseph close to. It just topped out there, I believe, in the low 80s. So this one is up 20% and continuing to go. Bull flag, Adara. Ooh. Adara, that's brilliant. I'll put my money on her, bro. Where is he? Yeah, he's not back there, so I don't feel bad. Bull flag. Not bull flag, but a bull flag, because I said it was doing that bull shape.
A bull flag.
Bro, I don't know. I don't have anything other than to say.
That was all right.
It's a bull flag.
You
didn't think that was good because you got your money on Obi.
You know what I mean?
So you're biased.
Hey.
You got no money?
Hey now.
Hey now, I'm a rock star.
No, I was thinking, hey now. The other song. The other song, like, hey now.
Yeah, I like that one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a bunch of hey nows.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of hey nows here.
Get it, Neo.
Lizzie McGuire.
Oh, Jug Meat's on CNN. Get it, Jug Meat. Running for Canadian Prime Minister. Yeah,
No.
Neil's laughing.
That's great. All right. Anyways, Johnny Ani Smith. Sorry, I gotta stop leaning forward like that. Johnny Ani Smith. I 1,000% agree with you. Loma won that Devin Haney fight. I'm glad that you put in your chime that in because I think that he won that fight. So there we go. But guys, Tesla, TSLA, working really, really well. And it's funny. Just decided to take a couple steps back last night. I'm just watching my classic CNBC snippets in the evening time, and it's like everybody's bearish, and then now, sure enough, the next day you get that market bounce, and it's like, what's going on here? So when the big boys are saying, okay, yeah, let's tone it down here a little bit. We're gonna go to the south side. Well said, everything just seems to bounce here. So yeah, just be wary of that, guys. And we are kind of in oversold conditions too, Shreve. You got to take that into consideration as well too, right? Like it's very rarely where you see these big tech names go down 15, 18, 20% without somewhat of a pullback here. And I'm not saying that's the case right now, but eventually it will come into fruition and then you will see that pullback. Does that mean that the bearish trend is over and completed? No, I don't think so. But you will get a pullback in these names because I mentioned the other side of the trade as well too, guys. But I got to point something out here, Shreve.
What?
We've been having 5,000 viewers essentially the whole show.
How many likes we got?
Yeah, not even 10%, my guy. Not even 10%. So do us a solid here.
Let's just go.
Let's just go. You want to fight? All right, yeah, it's done.
All right.
That's it. We're out of here. He's out of here.
No, we should actually get up. If Brenda wasn't here, I'd be getting...
Brenda, he would go.
Shut the screen off.
Because there's, you know why?
Fantastic,
there's curry potatoes in the back, and I'm getting a little peckish. So you know what I mean?
I extracted some of those.
I did. I grabbed some
of that meat. I extracted some of that meat. Yeah, of course I did. I saw protein there.
The ground beef. Hey, all right. I skipped out on that. We went a little bit veggies there, my guy. But that's okay. Yeah, I like the veggies, man. I was a vegetarian for a year.
For real, huh?
Yeah.
That your own decision or a decision of a different person?
No, it was my
own. Okay, you saw where
who would decide what I'm gonna eat though?
You know exactly what I'm getting at. Stop pretending like you don't know what I'm insinuating.
I don't. I have no idea because I would never experience anything if I want to eat it.
That's what I want to hear, Joseph. That's what I want to hear.
Clap. I'd be just like, pardon me, and then just continue to eat.
I love it, dog.
But yeah, here we go, guys. Let's get those likes up a little bit here. We got 600 now, and that's all we're asking. Just like and subscribe. Not asking for a lottery ticket or anything along those lines. So thank you guys very much. Kanye East. Hey. Haven't seen you in a while, my guy. Welcome back to the good. Dude, I was like in my mid-20s when I did that. And I was fighting at the time, yeah.
Vegan or vegetarian?
I still ate eggs, I guess. So whatever you want to call it. I just cut out like hamburgers and everything else like that. So you know what I mean? Steak.
I wouldn't mind trying to be pescatarian for a little bit.
So fish and eggs.
Yeah. I didn't know eggs are included in pescatarian. I didn't know that. I thought it was just fish.
I thought you would know that.
No, I just thought it was fish.
No way.
Eggs in pescatarian is allowed?
Yeah, I think
Say that again, Dara?
It's only vegan.
Only vegan you can't have eggs. Didn't know that. Okay, interesting.
Well, I mean, vegan.
That meal you got there is pescatarian, Ramran?
Okay,
I saw tofu in your food the other day. Yeah, I know. I know, but it's like, I'd rather have like an animal protein rather than, Fair. Okay, she doesn't like their chicken. Okay. Queen Ram doesn't like it.
Yeah, she told me to get sushi the other day.
Yeah, she told me,
I'm like, hey, I don't know if I really like that with that. And she said, well, go get sushi or something.
That's okay. Sushi's sick.
And get shawarma too, yeah.
Have you ever had Shawarma Max across the road?
Shawarma Q?
It's not. Is it Shawarma Q? I thought it was Shawarma Max. Yeah, because the one by my house.
I've crushed that.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Had it on Friday, actually.
You had it on Friday. Why am I shocked?
Why are you? Whoa! Why are you, are you shocked?
Because like that's every time we have a party at the floor and it's after hours. That's the place everybody's going.
You gotta go over there.
After they,
hit the queue real quick. You know what I mean?
So yes,
that's it.
Animal protein. Get it, Tammy. Look, man. I mean. Yeah, we're not going to go down that road. But in any event, MLGO, guys, defending. There we go. So it's now into that area that we were talking about, that 410 area. It's going to have to hold up above the volume-weighted average price, and it's going to have to continue to make higher lows, and that is the question right now. So a newer low comes at about 404, the breach of 404 or 405. So we've got 416 right now. Cost basis on this one, it's showing me 12s on the ask, 10 on the bid. So we'll see if this one wants to pop up. MLGO's bamboozled me before. I had an entry on it, a decent trade. It ended up breaking down. It didn't hold trend. So we'll see if it holds trend this time around. Yeah, we'll see. It's a bit of a harder trading these small cap gappers today. Let's see some of the other ones we were involved in. ASTS kind of topping out at $29.75 for the moment, coming back in to below that $0.50. Now you're getting 40 something prints here on the bid. We'll see. Well, where's the price action support there? Okay, so it looks as if we were certainly rejecting that $0.50 for a bit, at least on the 1 minute. You had multiple topping tails into that $0.50, 40 penny area, and then it rejected. Then we cleared it by some distance. Now it looks like, clearing it 40 pennies, some odd. We're actually using that 40 penny area as support. I'm not gonna trade upon that basis. Just too close to the highs there. It's gonna have to come in to a more predictable area. Let's see what that predictable area is on ASTS. Well, we got the 10 exponential here on the 5 minute at around 29.25. Okay. We also have that $29 area that we know was price action resistance because on the way up, we kind of rejected it. Then we had this big boy candle here come out and take the high. So 29 could be an area. We'll have to wait and see. What else we got here? What are you guys looking at in small cap gapper world? I usually have Bovin, Nimit as well. They're always telling me exactly what's going on in small cap gapper world, especially for the ones that are sub $1, which I don't usually see on my scanner. So let me know what you guys are doing there. If you're trading these small caps, if you're not, what else you're looking at, tag me. Let me know what is good there. Canna Club Chicago. I don't think you Canadians have seen Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. Would I be able to sing that if I didn't know? If I didn't know about Carmen Sandiego? Come on, bro. We don't live in the South Pole. We live closer to the North Pole. I'm kidding. Let's see what else people are saying there.
We do live closer to the North Pole.
Say it again, Ram.
You said something is our neighbor.
Stuart, looking at PTIX. Let's have a look at PTIX, see what Stuart's talking about there. PTIX, Rembrandt. What do we got over here? Ooh, okay, it's a sub $1 name. Okay, I asked for it. Okay, well, this one was definitely doing something there after the bell. It feels like an earnings winner possibly because it spiked up right at $4, did a kind of a sideways dance. We gave back a lot, man, of that move. We popped up into about what? There are 58 pennies, dropped down to about 32. We're above, VWAP right now. But Stuart, the deal is with these small cap gappers, I won't trade them if they're trading below the pre-market high. Sadly, this one spiked really early at 4:10 a.m., topped out there at 57, 56 and a half pennies. So this one breaches my rules. I won't trade this one. But thank you for calling it out. Let me know what else you guys are looking at. BGZ is shorting Palantir. Okay. APLD is semi-strong, says Fiddlebeck. Let's have a look at APLD, Applied Digital. Okay, not bad. Certainly, just went green there above that 690 area, topped out at 707. Looks like it's respecting the 10 exponential, dipping in here with a 2-candle red setup after breaching 7, coming down in though to 697, which is technically a defend of the 10 exponential. Let's see if it defends that level and then works its way back up. Looks like we had a really aggressive red day on APLD yesterday with an 840 high, and then we ended up closing the day out at 690, so giving back quite a bit there. Let's see what, let's see what we get there. Well, I'll keep an eye out on that one. Guys, new poll is out. You got Tesla. You got goggles. I'm pretty sure I included Tesla in the first one, no?
Did you? Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
all
if you
good.
did,
And
yeah,
I
sorry,
put
I didn't even
IBIT
see
in the
which
first one too. I
Did
put
you?
BTC. It's
okay,
okay.
I didn't see that one. So we'll switch it up there.
I'm going to vote Tesla.
All right, we'll overlap
because
there.
Tesla's down 4.5%, Joseph. It's a bit of an ugly day today.
I thought I looked at the other one before. I thought you had
good.
some. Yeah. I thought you had some different ones in there.
Good. We'll fix it up. No worries.
I see Nat Gas, Arm, Lee, SMCI.
Okay, so then I didn't have any of those, and I'm dreaming.
That was
I'm
yesterday.
delusional.
No, I'm mega delusional because that says yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm pretty sure I put those in.
Yeah, it's all right.
no, it's
hey,
all
man,
good.
hey, it goes through a finger or two, you know what I mean?
Everything's
and that's
gravy,
okay.
man.
Everything's gravy, man. Don't panic. Everybody, it's okay.
What's going on there, Randy?
Discussing EVs.
EVs.
He's discussing EVs with the Katina man. He's having coffee.
So I was going to Farm Boy over the weekend.
Say it again, Katina man.
Discussing this EV charging.
Oh yeah.
EV
Sorry
charging.
to interrupt you, Joseph.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
We're
Talk
getting
a little.
EV charger. We're getting 3, Randy. Maybe two. Okay, so we're getting some EV charging plugs specific to our company, right? Not for the building. Being put in by the owner of this place. Shout out to him. And that's gonna maybe get some of us to get some EVs. You're not getting an EV though. Well, you are getting an EV though, are you not?
A hybrid.
It's a hybrid. Yeah. It's the hybrid. Okay, so it's plug-in hybrid. You're gonna get the Macan. Cayenne, excuse me. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, the Macan is electric because they have a full electric Macan, right? Yeah. You're holding on to the old Cayenne, which is diesel, and you're babying the you know what out of that because it's a diesel, so it can definitely do many miles.
Yes.
And then you're gonna add on top of that the plug-in hybrid, but you're gonna hold on to the old boy. Love it, man. And so let me ask you a quick question. You know what plug we're gonna get? Is it gonna be the North American Standard? NACS. And the plug-in hybrids work off NACS?
Yep.
It does. Okay, so that's a good look there.
It comes with the adapter if it doesn't, the J1229 adapter.
Like the Rivians, they come with the adapter.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay, I'm repeating what he says. He comes in with the North American adapter. He's talking about the plugs that we're going to get put in. When is that, Randy? Are we going to get it next week?
No.
No.
Next month.
Next month. Okay. No worries. So we're getting next month. Say that again, Katina Man? The Katina Man's got over on that next month business. He's at the 6-month mark. Okay. Eddie R., you will directly plug in the muscle tonificator. What does that even mean, Eddie? Shout out to you. You always make me chuckle, brother. All right, let's see what Johnny H talking about ChargePoint, because we're talking about these EV charging. Let's see what CHPT's up to. ChargePoint, Joseph. What do we got here? Wow, this is a sub $1 name now, Ram. When I was trading this, it used to be like a multi-dollar name. CHPT, at least it's catching a bid off that 57 penny low, and we're moving into 64 pennies. It's time to buy this one. No, I'm kidding. Don't buy it. Adara, what's up?
So, a couple pieces of news here for a couple different Mag 7 tickers. We're going to start with the information apparently publishing an article saying that smugglers have been shifting attention to Nvidia's gaming chips due to growing demand for consumer products that can run DeepSeek models. So because DeepSeek models don't need high-end Nvidia AI chips, they've been looking for Nvidia gaming chips. So Nvidia gaming chips apparently a hot commodity. Then we also have here the information reporting separately that Meta is planning a massive AI data center and new chatbot push. Not super surprising. We know Meta's been looking to increase its AI spend, but regardless, the information reporting that Meta is planning a, quote, massive AI push specifically with data centers and chatbots. Back to you.
He looked away and slapped him.
Why is he fighting that guy?
What is that, bro?
Why is he fighting?
If you want to punch someone, punch them while you're looking them in the face, not look away and then have fade. And
we shouldn't. We can't even mention the other guy's name.
Which guy?
The other guy that was in the
guy is
video.
that?
I can't. I'm not saying his name.
We're talking about the KSI fight. He's fighting a guy named Dylan something or another there.
Yeah,
what's his name? Dylan Danis.
Yeah, don't even mention it.
You know who he is? Yeah. Yeah, well, these guys are YouTubers.
That's what I said, man. No,
KSI's a YouTuber as well, isn't he?
Dude, he was Conor McGregor's sparring partner for a while.
KSI?
No.
Oh, Dylan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not
Dylan
going to say his name. I'm not going to say his name. And then that's who Habib, during that UFC fight, when he jumped out of the cage, and that's who he leaped at.
He was attacking this guy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
KSI just slapped him.
Yeah, well, he deserves it.
And then he looked away and then slapped him too. Like, that is ultimate
Never mind.
Anyway.
Never mind that guy.
Interesting. All right. Blaze Wavy. Come on now, man. You're going to get, of course it's going to get blocked when you say that. All right, guys, we're still involved in MLGO. It's still defending that 10 penny level, but it is putting in lower lows and lower highs. We'll see if we can get that 10s, and then maybe it defends that level. It was a resistance level for a long time. I'm talking about the 410 level on MLGO. Let's see if it acts as support now, and then maybe wants to move up to the high side. We got 16s. It did pop up into 16s, but it is still making lower lows. GRRR, though, feels like it's the gift that keeps on giving because it is now kind of doing this rounding effect again. He's still putting in higher lows. You're not getting a big boy breakout on GRRR. Why isn't this thing updating? 38.84. Is this thing yet? Yeah, okay. I'm thinking about possibly punching in here again on GRRR, but there does seem to be some resistance at 39. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw an order towards that $0.25, okay? I'm going to wait at the $0.25. If I can get the $0.25, that would be aces for me rather than punching in at 60. Reason is I'll get out below 38. So that would mean I'm only risking 25 pennies now. The obvious drawback of that is I may not get filled. Showing me 30s right now. I'm waiting at 25s. Let's see if we can get something here on GRRR. I perceive this to be kind of still continuing to rounded, to give that rounding effect, possibly for another 39 break, and then maybe even a 40 break with that 39.62 high of the day. I'm also keeping an eye on Astis over here. So, okay, we got the MLGO ad at the 10 penny area. Now, I'm also keeping an eye on, where is Astis, by the way? There it is. This one did dip into 29, has a bit of a bottoming tail candle into 29, which is a little bit higher than the 20 exponential moving average. So let's see if we can possibly get something in this. This one looks awfully strong as well. Look at that. It already shot up 50 pennies more. Oh, wow. This one's really getting away from me there. So definitely missed that entry on ASTS. Good strength there into 29. And then right back up into that 29, almost in a third there. Zigging back down into that third of $1. This is obviously a candle of indecision, but it is engulfing the previous candle. So it does feel like a bullish engulfing candle over here on ASTS, not like I usually use these chart patterns, or these candlestick patterns, I should say, on these small cap gappers. I'm debating whether to punch in here, Joseph. Interesting on Astis over here. Let's see what we can get. What are you looking at there, Katina Man? The Katina Man's 379 handles in on the Qs. No, he's 100 handles on the Qs. We're exaggerating for effect. It's a fantastic trade today for the guy. Shout out to you, Katina Man. You killed it today. Good trade on the Qs. Good trade on Tesla. Good trade on Nvidia. Shout out to Sean. All right, keeping my eye here on Astis, looking for a possible pullback here that we can get something closer to the $0.25. It is not giving me anything though, Joseph, and we're only about 25 pennies away from that high. What do you got on your side, my man?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for something to set up here, guys. So this was our TSLA trade. We took about half the position, a little bit more, maybe 60%, and then we got stopped out break even here. But see, the thing is, though, that's why I talk about risk to reward all the time. You got to see, like, so I'm in the middle of this range, and then price wants to come back and trade within the middle of that range, right? So if I had a better entry, then I can hold on to this position significantly better. And I think that's something to know. Entry is always really key, especially in the starting of the position, right? You can always add into it, and it'll bring your average up. But then if like I just mentioned here, if I'm in at the base, then I can still hold on to this break even, potential add here, and then look for that additional leg to the top side. But yeah, guys, a lot of these names trading significantly well today. Google took that second leg higher as well too. So a little bit of some choppy price action here. Nice indecision candle in the pre-market, and then you get that strong 5-minute opening drive with the inability to breach any lower consolidation phase, and then we take that leg higher, second consolidation phase, and then the second leg higher there. But again, nothing crazy, no continuation really, but we are holding that support level really well, so keep that in mind. Can we climb higher? Hopefully so. Second largest holding in the long term there, and we're down probably about 18% now off those lows, which isn't the most pretty, 17 and a fifth there. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully we can continue this bounce in Google. Slightly oversold. I was talking to my buddy Gorav in the chat there about some about some potential selling some puts here, and I like that 195. You can, so that I wrote it in the chat earlier. So if you do a contract combination, so a bull put spread on Amazon, so that would be selling the 195s and then buying the 190s, you can collect 83 cents a contract there, Sharif. So that's a pretty penny with a high probability as well too. I didn't really look at the delta on those, but you're looking at like a 70, so a 0.3 delta or something along those lines, which is really, really good. So yeah, we'll do that. I tried playing this bounce and I had an exit at 120, but it just tapped 195 and then ended up taking an L on the swing. We broke that trend line to the downside. So now looking for somewhat of a bounce in some of these big names here. And I think that we're going to get it eventually because they're down double digits, a lot of the Mag 7. So we got to take that into consideration. I mentioned time and time again the put to call ratio and being on the other side of that trade. So that is really important. I like that Amazon trade. And we're going to look to get back into Tesla. Should have got in at the low here at that support level, but let's see what Adair is up to.
Keep an eye on Oracle, keep an eye on Microsoft, and keep an eye on any names, or I guess ARM is the other name to keep an eye on here. Basically, Wall Street Journal is reporting that Lutnick here, Howard Lutnick, the U.S. Commerce Secretary, is planning new funding rules which are seen as being beneficial for Starlink. Starlink, of course, is that pretty massive AI data center funding operation, which is, again, led by Oracle, Microsoft's OpenAI, and also ARM. So keep an eye on these three tickers. Apparently, as reported by Wall Street Journal, there's going to be some new funding rules in the work, which are seen as very beneficial for these companies. Another area to look at would be energy names that are related to AI data centers. One of them would be Vistra, VST, because Starlink is starting in Texas, where VST has their home base. Back to you.
Yeah.
All right, Joseph, we got to pay some bills, baby. All right, e-Signal. New traders, listen up. First month, it's free. That's right, we're waiving the fees. You get to trade smarter, not harder by upgrading to Elite. You'll be able to strategize, analyze, and then capitalize on their platform. It's got everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, and game-changing charts. You can also predict better with good backtesting. You get reliable, real-time data, global markets, literally at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now if you're ready to elevate your trading. Scan that QR code or check the link in the description. Shout out to the great folks at e-Signal. All right, we weaseled into GRR. I got in at 38 and a third, and then we weaseled all the way up into 39.10s. I didn't trade this properly. I took out too much too quickly, and it ended up we've got nothing left. Basically, call a spade a spade. So didn't trade this one with the requisite precision, but we'll look to do a little bit better. GRR though, it looks like a great rounding kind of shape, looking like to take out that 39.62 high a day. It's at 39 right now on the ask. This one though, trouble. Not MLGO, that's break even. This one, ASTS. Now, I like the way that this one was setting up, especially into that $29 dip, but it wasn't forthcoming in the top break. It couldn't break that 75 penny area. It's still putting in higher low. So what I want to do is, because I got in a really small entry here after taking everything out, I'm going to look to DCA into this to defend that $29 area. So let's go ahead and do just that. I'm going to wait at the third of a dollar, see if we can get something in and around there. We probably won't have to wait that long, and then we'll wait as well at near that whole dollar there. So I'm going to wait at 10s, see if we can get something in and around there. In case it spikes up to the high side without printing me or printing my dip trades here to the low side, I've set up a couple of beak wetters through the high of the day. I'm talking about ASTS. Fantastic look today for this name. Directional and strong in a day where it was hard to come by those names. Up 14 and 2/3 for now. Underline that for now. Keeping an eye on MLGO. We're about 3 pennies or so out of the money on this one. It's going to have to hold the higher low situation that it's been doing essentially all afternoon. If it doesn't, then why would I be in the trade? Because it's going to change the pattern, right? Into an upward channel, into whatever it manifests into. So MLGO in focus, ASTS in focus, and GRRR. If it comes back down into 38s or the 10 exponential moving average on GRRR, that's about 38.5. It could be an interesting buy because it's been quite respectful of that 10 EMA on the way up. Let's see what we get there, guys.
Yeah, good luck there. So yeah, guys, let's see what we got going on. A lot of people in the chat are talking about IBIT itself. So let's take a look at it from a daily standpoint. So what happened was, I guess, over the weekend, we have this massive gap up in this underlying here, but then again, previous gap down, but then we just fill it, right? So that gap was filled and then rejected immediately. So we open up right at the bottom of that range and then continue to sell. So take into consideration where we closed yesterday and then where we open up this morning. So again, we just filled the gap and then now hovering around those gap highs. So keep that in mind. Trading really well is IBIT. I'm not going to trade it up here, take it up here, but surprisingly, it is still negative on the session, guys. Down about 1/3 there. So not looking too good here for that Bitcoin space. I do want it to hold those key levels. There was a hammer candle there that was printed, but it just doesn't respect it, kind of like equities do. So you have to take that into consideration as well too. So, but again, here we go, climbing higher and higher. I hope this one works out. I'm not in it, but I hope it starts to recover anyways, and maybe we can get into those mid-90s once again, and then go north of that. I want to start to participate in TSLA again, Tesla. But I don't want to chase it up here. I missed the bottom of the range once again. And then it now looks like we're going to go and pass this previous pivot here, sitting around 275, just a little bit below that. So again, if it breaks through that with momentum and volume, then we'll look to participate there. But you can see that the volume is starting to stair step down as well too. So maybe a pull back into the bottom of the range, a little liquidity grab, and then you can continue higher. So yeah, guys, let me know what you're looking at in the chat, and we'll be sure to go over those things. If you have any earnings questions, expected moves, etc., options questions, put them in there. I'll do my best that I can to answer them. Los Pollos Hermanos says, hammer candle forming on Nvidia daily time frame. Perhaps today the bottom if the hammer stays at a close. I like the way you're thinking there, Los Pollos. Let's take a look from a daily perspective. I don't see it, Los Pollos. I mean, this is a nice candle here, a nice strong bullish candle, but I don't see the hammer that you're referring to that's closing as, because it's just not there, right? If you don't want to force it, we can go look at some other examples. Again, this is more like a shooting star doji. You can classify it as a hammer, but again, you want to see a little bit longer of a wick. Here's somewhat of a hammer here. This is what you want the print to look like, right? Or like this. We can classify this specific one as a hammer as well too. But this one I think is just a really good strong candle here. That's a genuine move. The volume is supporting it. A nice, I'm not going to call it engulfing, but a nice pure bullish candle there on the daily as of right now for NVDA. If we were to close down here and then head a little bit lower, then yeah, then we can do that for sure. So we can classify it as that. Mel is asking, okay, she's here. She's very much here. So there you go.
What are you talking about?
Someone says, where is Adara? She's there. Here. Yeah, she's here. She's very much here. Joe W. made you look. Okay, some weird stuff going on. I
have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea. So idea on VNet support levels, barefoot.
Do a page in my rhyme book. Remember that, Nas?
No.
Made you look. No?
No.
Come on now.
Come on, man.
Adira?
I only know
Help me out.
New York State of Mind. New York State of Mind is my favorite Nas track there. But here we go. Let's take a look.
What's your favorite album? Street Disciple?
From Nas himself? No, I'm not really into him like that. No,
Okay,
yeah. No, I don't.
He has no opinion.
Yeah, I told you. To be honest with you.
Very upset.
Yeah, I could tell.
Okay, honestly, my favorite Nas, I love It Was Written, which is super, I guess, old hat or cliched, but I love It Was Written. Illmatic is amazing, but
Illmatic.
King's Disease,
Yeah, there you go. Illmatic.
King's
There we
Disease
go.
from 2020 is an underrated banger. King's Disease. Check it out.
Underrated banger.
There it is, Adara. Spoken. Get it, Adara. Yeah, look, I mean, it's...
You might. You know what my great aunt, God bless her soul, the first album I ever received was a Swollen Members.
No
album.
way.
Yeah, Swollen Members.
Why did she get you that?
I don't know. I was a kid. Swollen Members. Yeah,
whatever, I don't hate on that at all.
That was the first rap
Neil
album
likes
I ever had. Yeah, I'll never forget it.
Is that the first CD you ever had?
The first CD I had, yeah, and I had this big blue boombox, and I used to walk around the cul-de-sac and put it out the thing, listen to Swollen Numbers. I had no idea what they were talking about or anything along those lines. And then the Eminem show, and then Get Rich or Die Trying. But here, VNet, back into the market there, guys. Let's see what we got. We're looking for support levels. Someone asked me in this. And we're going to go right here, all right? It's not overly standout-ish, but we want to take a look at these hammer candles and where we reject. So essentially what happens in this candle is that you push the print all the way down here into these levels, and then you push it back up. So maybe this is some form of support. But again, here we have a peak, and then now we're trading down about 50% off of those highs, which isn't a really good look, but we can continue to move higher. What's going on here?
Nothing.
Okay, it's all right. All right, I see how it is, man. A little inside joke there.
I'm just trolling her in the chat, bro. That's what I do.
That's a troll job.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay, man. Down 45% off those highs. You can interrupt me at any time, but 45% off those highs. Looking for that bounce there. That's the next support level. If you breach that, then this is where you want to get into that consolidation phase. And at that point, it's not really looking too good.
All right, here's the deal. We're back involved in Astis here. Where are we long? 42s. I wet the beak there at 60s. It's back into 42s. I still have my play in DCA to DCA and defend that $29 area that I perceive to be an area of support. So we'll watch and see whether that holds up or not. I should tell you guys I'm not involved in GRR at the moment, but it is back into that 20 exponential moving average. The area, okay, it's not on here, so I have to show it to you on this. This area has been respected by GRR. Hold, and we'll see. This one held. Let's see if this one holds. So the 20 is the yellow line. It's being defended here by GRR on the day. We'll see if that, that trend continues. It's still putting in higher lows. If you're basing the area trough off the moves into the 20 exponential. Finally, what's this one's name? MLGO popping up over here. Let's see if we can wet the beak. We got some share, a little more, not shares, but we got some decent size on this one. Nice going into 20 on MLGO. I've been waiting at 25. That's probably not the right idea. Let's wait more here at 20 to de-risk and see if we can get something more into 25s on this bad boy. So MLGO generally comes back in and tests that 410 area. And I'm not going to lie, it dipped into 405, okay? But it didn't cross 405, hence why I still have a dip trade there that's going unfilled. It's showing me 20s on the ask. I'm waiting at 20s, but it's showing me 17s on the bid. So likely going to have to wait a little bit more on this one to get the fill. Packing my patience on MLGO. Let's go back to Astis over here and see what's afoot. Now I'm waiting here at 60, where are we waiting? We're not waiting at 69s on this one, are we? No, we're waiting at 65s. This one's having a whole lot of trouble with the whole dollar. I'm talking about ASTS, not really sure why, but the half dollar, excuse me, not the whole dollar. It's having trouble with that 50 penny area. Let's see if it can weasel on up to 60. It's showing me 57s right now on the ask, 53 on the bid. There it is. It's in the 60s, not crossing. Let's wait a little bit longer over here. Can we get the print? Show me the print, bro. We're not getting the print. There's the print. Nice move to the high side. Now we're about 30 pennies in the money, long 33s. Let's see if we can get that print at 80 right now on Astis. Good move up, 75 HOD on ASTS. So we're no, actually, we're not front running it. We're presuming that our next print takes out the high. And I'm seeing MLGO take out levels as well. There we go. We get the print at 22s. Now it's showing me, what is she showing me? 22s. Now I'm waiting at 24s here on MLGO, up 10%. Not by much though. So we're going to pack our patience right now. MLGO, ASTS, both in focus. Despite the fact that GR has been the big boy winner on the day, it's still defending that 20 exponential, which is now overlapping with the whole dollar level. I'm talking about 38s. As you see over here, we did defend 38 on the intraday basis. On the 5, I should say, excuse me, we dipped down into 38 in this red candle we hold, and this current candle has a low of 38. We'll see if that holds or not. GR. Good luck on the day, Jose.
Yeah. I missed the entry on. Whoa.
Sorry, I told someone I would review something for them before I went to the bathroom. Let me just scroll back up there and see who it was. It was Cameron Lum. He said, can you check the RUT for me? Sorry, Joseph, to interrupt you. Let me have a look at that for Cameron. RUT. So we're talking about the Russell. Okay. So we already kind of did a little bit of a review. Wow, the Russell's only down 0.7. Dude, this thing was down 2.5. What a recovery. Okay, let's show it, Rammer. Say that. The NASDAQ, it's almost, Katina. I mean, yeah. Your point well taken. RTY. Let's look at the Russell futures. We'll go future and we'll go March. Yeah, that's a nice recovery there on the Rust, man. I mean, we were definitely at lows. We talked about that triple bottom, 2050. Now we're almost at the 100-point area. I mean, we're up. The highs there are 94, so we could see 2100 realistically. That'll keep us negative on the day, believe it or not. We got to get above 2100 to go positive, 2105. So we still have some stuff to recover from, but I don't have a trade on the Rust. I know Adara used to look at the IWM a lot. Maybe she can chime in when we go back up to her, but I there's really nothing for me here unless we get into that 2100 and even above 2100. We're still looking at resistance with yesterday's closing print at 2105. Sorry, couldn't help there, Cameron. I don't usually trade the Rust either. Let me know how it goes, though, my man. If tag me there, let me know what the situation is. Joseph,
yes,
we're almost at the high of the day on Astis. We're showing 75s. That is the high of the day. I'm waiting at 80s. Let's see if we can get, so we're getting 76s now on the AST. So the bid's moving up here, 70 on the bid. Bit of a spread. Likely going to reject a couple of times before we take out the level. So ASTS 29.75, high a day. I'm waiting at 80s. We'll see what comes. We get the print, we don't. We're going to take some more out here. Joseph on MLGO at 18. What do you got?
Yeah, good luck there, my friend. I was going to go over something, but it jogged my memory now. So I'll figure it out once I get to talking. But we were going to get into some TSLL, but that entry has now passed us. So a nice break. The market really starting to put in a nice recovery. So, but Tesla's still down 4%, right? So this is the 2-to-1 leverage. So about half of that. We can pull up the actual underlying asset and see what we got kicking up here. And yeah, there we go, down 3.8% on the day, guys. So yeah, tough luck. And then somebody in the chat said, why is the market bouncing today? Well, none of us really know the actual answer, but you can somewhat gauge it as maybe an oversold bounce, right? Like, considering how much selling we've gone through and the aggressive selling, it's just a little bit of a cover rally. Unfortunately, we just can't completely capitulate and then go to zero. You get those bounces, the ebbs and flows of the market, as you would like to call it. But yeah, let's pull up some IBIT because I think that's going to be one of the better trades of the day. And it's unfortunate that we missed out on it. Just turning positive, up about 1/10 there, 2/5, sorry guys. And now the momentum is really starting to pick up here. Look at that volume really kick in here, guys. Let's phase out some of these orders here and just put our quote highlight somewhat higher just so we can see if there's somewhat of an imbalance on the level 2. And yeah, it's still relatively balanced, so nothing really distinctive there, guys, that says, hey, we're going to continue to climb higher from the level 2, right? It can be misleading, but a nice balanced level 2. If we're going to filter it a little bit more, then maybe you can see the disparity on that front. So yeah, really nice look here. Breaking through the high of day once again is Bitcoin. So I mentioned this time and time again, is that you can see when this name is going to put in some, like that $10,000 day, and that happened on Sunday, I believe it was. So this is Sunday. We pushed as low. Well, I guess it's not Sunday because this is BTC, but we pushed as low as about like, that's an incorrect print, but we went low as like 70 something or 80 something, I believe it was. And then we went as high as 95.
Yeah, I got that crap too.
Yeah, you got that 5? Yeah. So it was around like 85. And then we pushed to as high as a 95, right? Even in this day, we went from 83 to 94. So it's nothing for this asset to put in a $10,000 day. We just need some positive catalysts up under it. All right, guys. So just keep that in mind. Let's see what everybody else is looking at here. Just to get a gauge what the chat is thinking about. Yes, Bitcoin can break recent support around 78. So some people are still slightly bearish on Bitcoin. Let me know in the chat. Are you guys bullish or bearish on Bitcoin, especially with the tweet from Donald Trump coming on Sunday? Just let me know, bullish or bearish, type it in the chat. Yeah. And I want to see what everybody else has to say, right? Because that tweet and the reserve, there's supposed to be more talks about it on Friday.
We're going to have, I don't know if it's going to be a gala or what the situation is. I don't even think we know the time for that on Friday. Whether it's going to be during market hours or after, it's a Friday, right? So I don't know if he's doing something after the bell,
after the bell, or do something after the bell, like he did on Sunday, right? When he right? So
we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, you better believe the entire crypto world is going to be listing now. It's going to be, I was reading a really interesting article about this. If he starts buying Bitcoin legit, and I know he wants to put other cryptocurrencies in there, but if he actually starts buying a real substantial amount of Bitcoin, it's going to be the sovereign FOMO I was reading, where other, sovereign wealth funds, central banks, whatever, central governments want to kind of get in on the action because they see the U.S. doing it. So it's going to be a FOMO trade here rather than anything based on...
It can be, absolutely.
That's what people are predicting. Whether or not that happens, an entirely different story. But people are saying, you see the U.S. doing it. But then to me, the other side of the question is the U.S. is alienating a lot of countries right now. Let's call a spade, bro. These tariffs are irking people in many different countries, not just Canada. There's Mexico. There's reciprocal tariffs coming on, I think, all countries in early April. There's going to be like, if you have tariffs on us, we're slapping tariffs back on you for the equal amount. That's going to annoy a lot of people. So is there going to be that, desire to want to follow what the U.S. is doing, or is there going to be kind of that repulsion a little bit?
You can do whatever you want to do because, that's a good question, Sharif. And to be honest with you, I don't know necessarily how to answer that. The FOMO aspect, I can see that happening. Yeah, totally. Well, and it's funny. So, you know how China and the U.S. are head-to-head competitors, whatever it be on essentially every scale and spectrum that you can put it to.
Yep.
Do you think that changes any of China's regulations against Bitcoin?
That's interesting. So I remember they had a couple of different regulations in the past few years. I mean, I know they kind of outlawed mining.
Right, so all the Bitcoin miners moved to Texas or whatever it may be.
I heard a lot are in Kazakhstan and stuff like that because it's cheaper energy. I don't know if that's true or not, but...
Do you think, so if something big happens with Bitcoin, do you think that China reverses of what they went on before?
I don't know, man. That's one beyond my pay grade, I guess. I don't know enough about what China has been feeling or thinking or saying about Bitcoin lately to make an educated guess in that regard. Maybe the chat has some opinions on that, you know what I mean? But the whole thing, what I was thinking about is, does the rest of the world, if the strategic crypto reserve really does take off, do they follow? Just based on the recent events.
There will
Typically, you'd think they would follow.
Yeah, there would be some countries, I think, at some point, would be like, oh, okay, if these guys are doing it, they're a world leader, so we kind of we got to follow what the world leaders are doing to stay in the game at least. So.
I don't
know.
You're digging yourself a bit of a hole. You're gonna. It's like I'm gonna save up all these trolling incidents, and then I'm gonna
did it again
one day. You're gonna find yourself in a very precarious position, Ram.
You're gonna eat all your chocolate.
That's a least of it. She can just buy more with daddy's money, right? Here we go. We're taking out the highs there. We're taking out the highs there on ASTS.
Whatever.
Into that 30, 33. I wet the beak there at 80s. Feeling awfully silly. Always taking off too much too quickly. This is breaking out. Here comes 30.50 right now on ASTS. It's up almost 20%. The half dollar's in focus right now. This one, from my recollection, I think we do have a bit of a higher short float on this one. Yes, about 30%, 29.66. Now that could be a couple of weeks old, guys. With 14 days being the possible delay on the short interest there. But this is a nice breakout right now on ASTS. Let's see how high or how aggressively this can get to the high side. Make sure you're doing your charting on the daily to anticipate those areas of resistance. But it's a good breakout right now on ASTS. Now I'm going to keep my focus on MLGO. I've been waiting at 21s to wet the beak. It doesn't look like it's going to get wet there, so we'll possibly take out some there at 18s, which is what we've been doing for the most part right now, because MLGO technically this is a lower high. So area high to the high a day of 442. Then we have a rejection of the quarter dollar. And now we're having a rejection of a random area at around 22. The point is, though, it's a lower high. But that's the bad side. What's the good side? We're putting in higher lows, Joseph. So 385 low, then 4 low, then a 405 low. So compression pattern right now on MLGO, a wider looking compression pattern. That is no question about it. ASTS continues to go to the high side, taking out the half dollar. Like, don't even matter. Now we're at 2/3. Could we see 3/4? I'm going to get into my auctioneer mode, baby. Now we're showing almost 70s right now. 70s ain't coming right now on ASTS. It feels like 70s are going to be gone in a minute, and we're going to be looking at that $31.
Can you get 31s? Can we get 31s here?
I love that. Ram's chiming in. Okay, Ram. Okay, I see you. Shout out to Gorev. Thanks for Sharif and Joe for another amazing midday show. No, you're the amazing viewer. Shout out to the OG Gorev. SPF Joe. Team Ram Ram, bro. She trolls from the shadow. Ram Ram's got the supporters. Shout out. Yeah, we're not going to hate on Ram Ram. Join my shadow. Okay. What else we got there in the chat? What do you got?
No, there's someone saying XRP, because you know your boy. I told you I'm going to take a look at it. Continue with your one. I'm going to pull up XRP. We don't got
Let's see what James Choi is talking about BA, and Nadera was telling us about Boeing before we started the show, if you recall. So let's have a look at how Boeing is doing on the day. Recovering certainly off that 157-ish low of the day. It's about $162, but off that local area top at 162.57. I mean, it's putting in higher highs and higher lows, so the trend is to the high side here. It's got to get above 170 to go green on the day. I have my doubts about that, Joseph, but a decent recovery above VWAP, above the 20, trying to dance with the 10 at the moment. Let's see if it can take out that 162.50 area. But guess what time it is, bro?
What time is it?
Just going to give you one guess.
It's not 2 o'clock, is it? Oh, my
It is now past 2 o'clock. Let's see what Zai here has to say. China has strict capital controls to prevent large sums of money from flowing out of the country, and using Bitcoin as a reserve asset would make it easier for individuals to bypass. That does make sense. I know Egypt has the same rules. They don't want people storing their value in something like Bitcoin. They want you to hold Egyptian pounds so that it can inflate and then it can be worth nothing. Shout out to an awesomely run country. In that case, we're going to send you over to the big boys. Peace.
What up, everybody?
What up?
We are back. Oh, is there something on Reddit? No, it's not. It's not big news. It doesn't sound like a gigantic thing, but the market is right back. The Nasdaq is green. It's been leading the way. The ES is trying to go. Bitcoin, if you're looking at it, IBIT here is at the highs, but it's 86.6 on Bitcoin. IBIT went green, although it's a 24-hour market, so, you know, from prior close, it's going to be green. What a market rally that's come in. Tariff Tuesday has turned into Turnaround Tuesday very, very quickly. So it seems as if, I mean, not everything is incredibly strong, but most things are. And even if they're not super strong, they've had a pretty solid rebound, respectively. So it was one of those types of days. This morning was mostly shorts, and really, this afternoon has turned into longs. If you were trying to shorten that middle portion of the day, it absolutely stunk. Trust me, I can tell you. We'll go over a couple of those names for sure. And names that were short early, you got to look for that reversal later on in the day, because that's what it's turned into. Certainly, AMD's back up 100. I still think AMD stinks, but broke away from 100 pretty nicely.
We're $17.50 in the money. I mean, we have Tesla right now is $15. This one right back to 278 again. This is that same long that we had from time. So it's still going. I mean, maybe we just get out now. Tesla's rip city right now. The Nasdaq is hugely positive, honestly. Like, to be down that whatever it was, 1.5%, and just have this kind of a move all the way back to the upside has been absolutely incredible. And then Nvidia's 250 in the money, and this is a trade that we were pumping all afternoon, all midday show. Like, if you're not joining the midday show looking for trades, like, I know they won't trade as much, but like this long here is 3 times long. We were going short into 115 as soon as I mean, I don't know. I just feel like all you have to do is really follow your own plans, right? 115 top, look to flip. So, I mean, it's not like it's unbelievable that we're long right now at 115.27s. Here on Nvidia. It's what we wrote down. We've got this play. It's been a monster. Nvidia just continues to impress me. So we'll take another out right here. Why not? As there it goes, man. 250 in the money on Nvidia, $16 here on Tesla. Just to show you the power of, you know, what holding and compounding your wins can eventually do. So you're right back here to the highs. So we erase that mistake. Right back upside right now. There goes Nvidia. So. And Tesla. It's just, it is what it is, man. We're here. It's 250. There've just been big trades right now. Nvidia going to be P&L. Nvidia and the Qs are battling right now for me with P&L number 1. AMD we're flat on. Palantir, actually, Palantir we're still down on. We only made really one idea there, long and then down. So we'll wait, man. 85 now for Palantir. What a great recovery day. Congratulations, anybody else that's in this. So. Hey, why not? There you go. Sean, he wanted me to call you out. So there you go. What's up, why not? I am going to short the Qs again if we can get a little bit closer to 71 and change.
There was a super chat apparently Bears versus Bulls mentioned at the end of the midday. There was a super chat, or maybe it's even in here actually, and it's whether the market effects with DJT speech tonight. So suffice to say that it's a little. This is actually in the prior stream, so I just want to make sure we got to that. It's very unpredictable anytime the president talks. That's just how it is. Like 1 minute pump, 1 minute dump. Saying we know what's going to get said isn't always going to be obvious, but we've already heard everything that has been said regarding tariffs has come to pass, right? Almost to a T. So to that extent, we've already heard just about everything with the reciprocal tariffs. Like, if you're laying out the plan for it, we know what it's going to be. It's going to be that tit for tat. So unless there's any updates in negotiations, I'm not expecting anything different in terms of rhetoric in the speech tonight. But that doesn't mean the market won't be volatile. Like, look at how much we're rallying when everyone talks about how negative these tariffs should be. So ultimately, I think he could move the markets. That's one of the advantages of being able to trade. If you look at Blue Ocean or OTC Moon, you're probably going to have activity on Tesla, on Apple, Nvidia, some of the bigger names tonight, looking at those aftermarket moves. So, I was short and lost on AMD. We're long now. I can't believe it's at 101. I can't believe it's going to go to yesterday's high and recover the entirety of the move. Actually, Nimrod, another super chat in here. Let's get to this. Shout out to you, Nimrod. Hey, I haven't heard you all day today. Hope you're having a good one. You guys heard your PM speech, Prime Minister's speech earlier in response to tariffs. One of the strongest on-point political speeches. The only way to deal with bullies. I'm Canadian today. So I will cop to the fact that I was watching the market. Basically all I saw was the headlines that were coming from it. I wasn't listening to Trudeau speak. But there's going to be tough talk back and forth from every single one of these leaders. And what can you expect? We're in a tariff war. So it's not like nobody is rolling over. Everyone's just going to say, we're going to put tariffs on you. And this back and forth is going to be true. I didn't like what I heard out of the Ontario government. We'll shut the power off. No. That's a little bit different. It's one thing, you tariff us, we'll tariff you, but leave it at that.
All right, guys, welcome to the afternoon rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys are locked and loaded, ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But join Joe and I during the How to Trade show during the midday and get into the chat and vote for your favorite tickers. That's the way to get them on there, guys. But you got to be a sub in order to engage with us in the chat. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing. Here's a look at the triple Qs, and what a recovery. We are now green, believe it or not, on the triple Qs. I believe we're almost up 0.5%. Last time I looked, we were up a little bit higher than a third. We are recovering on some of the other major averages. We're still negative on the ES, down about a third, with the Dow down about 3/4, and the Russell 2000 also recovering after being almost 2.5% in the negative, now down 1/3%. So good luck for small caps there. Tesla continues to recover with the overall market still down 2.33% today. In the pre-market, we got their China-made EV sales drop by almost 50% year over year in February, which caused Bank of America to lower its price target on the stock from $490, guys, into $380.
All right.
I feel like that usually comes on before.
Yeah, it was a little late.
It's all good. You got a good intro. You got to make sure you use it.
50. I think
for
this
sure.
market is good.
Just very quickly, I just curled out of. Okay, I didn't curl out of it. I got out of AMD. Curl out would be like the stock reverted or some nonsense like that. But I just got out of AMD where it trend broke yesterday. So, there's kind of like the trend break. It was right at 101 when it rolled over at 1 o'clock. And that's the spot that we're taking the longs into. I have a dip buy on trend to 100.5, the prior high, and see if we can't continue, sort of expect pullback and then buy the dip and take it step by step here. I actually didn't trade Tesla today. And I'm somewhat glad I didn't, but not all the way glad I didn't. It wasn't really a setup that was top of the shelf for me. it was going to be between this and Intel shorting the pop, and that was a real tough one to get. Whereas Intel never broke out the high. Whereas we'll talk about Intel later. Like Intel didn't break out the high, and Tesla did. So like maybe I would have been able to short it successfully, but I don't know. I kind of feel like I wouldn't have. So yeah, no trades on Tesla for me. I love the fact that you're back above the 200 period. Okay, check that. A second ago, you're at the 200 period on the daily, so you're kind of going back and forth here. But there's a decent chance to close back above the 200 period. I think if this one can do that for the week, maybe it isn't a wait till 222.22 like I was saying this morning. Because I legitimately, I did put in a stink bid. I wasn't joking. Yeah, I put it in at 222.22. I'm like, yeah, that might come in while I'm in Florida. It's feeling a little bit less likely after the bounce here today. So nice one on the long shot. I didn't trade Tesla at all today. And Randy just said stay away. I don't know.
Stay away.
Stay away.
Yeah, we're $16 in. I mean, we got stopped out right there at 278 when we wrote down 280 in the first time, and we were a little bit upset about that one. But then we actually have the very low of the day. It actually reloaded there. We weren't here. I wish we were, because that was just another easy day long down there at 262 and change. So it's not even like this is like. I mean, it was a great entry, but you could have had it again. So ultimately, always disappointed. I wasn't here. What are you supposed to do? But that was a great long down there at 262. I'm going to now use the 50-period moving average as a route at 274. So if it does come out, that's when it will come out. All right, we're adding to the pain right now and getting more shorts. So we just got taken out of one of our shorts up there at 70.30s, but we're back in it. You can see we want to be net. Okay, here we go, man. Now it's 40 handles. We're starting to get back down to the downside right now again here on the futures. Looks like we may have a chance to do it again. Fade out this whole afternoon. I'm feeling a little bit differently about it though today. I'm not like super fade right here. I mean, we are fading this move, and right now it's 40 handles in the money, but we do go short right now. I'm going to put that stop order in for Tesla. This stop was initially at 260, so $2 worth of a stop. Fine by me. If we break through 274, then we're going to get out, so and end that trade. But I actually don't mind if we break below that. I have infinitely more shares now on the futures and the Qs. So far so good here, as this is really starting to tank down in one more time. So all right, let's go talk about Google quickly.
All right, guys, Google next on the list over here. Why I'm saying Uber is because Uber and Waymo are introducing rides in Austin. So not a bad look for them today. And Google is the best performing Mag 7 name on the day, just a skosh below 3%, guys, but it's been hit hard lately. Good recovery rally today for Google.
You made me look at Uber there.
Taking that.
Wow, Uber's got a quick note on Uber. This is a great range. This looks like a really good breakout potential play. Look at the consolidation. Look at the bottoming tail wick underneath that 74. So like that is a rejection of the break of support at a big level at $74. And then the breakout is looming. It'll be at like $78 here on Uber. As far as Alphabet goes, I haven't pulled up the Alphabet chart today. But it's super, like, there's no question, it's super strong. I just look at the chip names. I knew we'd be on the chip names today. The only thing with Alphabet is it's got for Alphabet, this is a very steep set of lower highs underneath that 200-period moving average. I think this could be like a trend break on the daily chart trade for Alphabet. As a matter of fact, it's going to very likely close today holding that trend, or breaking that trend, I should say, not holding it, but breaking that trend. You're right at the top here on Google. As I look at that is pretty imminent, 172.5. Although I had to see what's up with that wick at 9:30, how legitimate that might be. But that 172.5 looks pretty good if I can trust that wick to give some juice to the upside. I like Alphabet. I think the trend reversion is going to be in play. But looking at that Uber chart, that looks really good at that 78 break. Maybe you get something like that next week, or well, it's early in the week. You get that in a couple of days, or maybe even tomorrow.
Yeah, I like Uber.
Actually, yeah, that Uber could actually happen tomorrow easily.
Come on, futures. Bitcoin back to 88 right now. I mean, this thing is really starting to run. I don't know. Oh, we'll talk about it next. Okay, let's just go back over to Sharif. We can. We like Google down there at 170. We've talked about that a little bit. So if you do get a drop down there, buying some Google isn't the worst thing in the world. But
what's up, Randy?
I shorted. What's up, Randy? There. We shorted TQQs with a stop. You guys asking 71.50 is where we will stop out on the TQQs. All right, Sharif, what up?
What's up, Sean? All right, here, guys, crypto recovering. This is the chart on IBIT, technically now up 2.2% on the day as BTC recovers. I see you guys in the chat saying it's around 88,000. So we talked about this morning, a lot of backlash between, from some crypto enthusiasts saying XRP, Solana, ETH, Cardano don't belong in the strategic crypto reserve, complaining about that. They want Bitcoin only. Separately, though, this was an interesting one. Apparently, China's working behind closed doors to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve, says a Bitcoiner who orange-pilled Trump. I don't know what that means, guys.
I mean, Cardano.
That means either, but
You know, so there goes Cardano. Like, a lot of these names are back to the upside right there. We were actually lucky enough to have bought some Cardano, but you know what? We've owned this name for a while. Looks like this is trying to go back to the upside as well. Here's what Bitcoin looks like. What a move for Bitcoin. Honestly, like, I guess that story is going to be real. Here's a 15-minute chart. Look at this. Like, we were just here at 82,000. I'm sure the guys on the midday were hopefully trading this because that was okay. Good job, Joe. That was a huge move to the upside there. I sat down. I didn't see Bitcoin at the later end of the show, but I wasn't here early, so I don't know. But anyways, nice move to the upside right there. I would still say watch out now. I mean, it's 89,000. We do have this top here of 89. So we broke, came back. Then we finally got that move down. So I'd say you like to hold and break 89,000. So that's kind of the next area for a lookout here on BTC. But yeah, I don't know. I like it. I've been buying these dips, and yeah, I'm going to still continue to, be cautious about it, but at the same time, enjoy the fruits of the labor because we're putting some money back to work there, and it's working out. So, if you bought the dips in the NASDAQ today, great. If you bought the dips in the in Bitcoin today, then equally as great.
I thought we'd see a 7. I bought once. I was expecting that the next buy in Bitcoin, I bought 86 something, and I thought there'd be like a 7 handled again. I'm not gonna lie, it felt, it felt that way. We talked about yesterday. You talked about the bearish market. I love the fact that there's a recovery, but I really did. Why is this? See, this is the one thing. Like this trend, I don't know why it doesn't infinitely extend. Here, let me just do that. Let me just fix that. Obviously, I'm using the wrong trend line here. So I kind of felt like we were retesting at least back to the prior high that broke out on the daily, which sits at about 70, what do we keep saying? 74,000, right? So I thought we'd get a shot somewhere in that range for another dip. So, kind of dip in the 86 range and then buy some in the 74, 75 range. So yeah, I'm not bummed about it. If Bitcoin goes up, I don't really ever sell any, so not the end of the world. But I wanted to put a little bit more to work when it came to Bitcoin. The trade today, I actually shorted it today off the open. This was the other one. It was this and Intel to the short side, but eventually just broke it out. I took one more shot, and I know the close doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter for Bitcoin, but if you look at where he ended the end of the day, I shorted underneath that on IBIT to take one more shot at it, and now it's an absolute rocket ship to the upside. So if you're long, I can say congratulations. Wish I had gone long on Bitcoin other than in the personal. Oh, I did just take Intel in front of 21.5. So this is 2150 on Intel. It just tagged it again. If it breaks it, I don't know if I want to reverse into the long there on Intel. I wanted to be buying the dips on AMD, just a little bit stronger on the day. We'll talk. Actually, Intel's next. I don't know why I could have just waited. Yeah, my bad.
All good.
Yeah, Intel, a bit of a tougher day, guys. 5 3/4 right now, trying to recover off the lows. There was this headline from this morning, analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, which we know for chiming in on Apple from time to time, today talking about Intel saying their Panther Lake production is going to be delayed, which is unfavorable for their second half 2025 sales. He says the patience is key here to getting the foundry business off the ground, guys.
Trump's going to announce a mineral deal apparently with Ukraine tonight, so maybe we get somewhere.
They got a lot of resources.
Maybe the market does start to rip up on some more certainty there if there is some kind of a deal or not. All right, Intel. So again, I was talking today like we liked some Intel, and yeah, maybe it's on sale one more time, down 5.6%. Wow, what a disaster today for Intel, with the market positive now. Intel down still 5.6%. So yeah, I think there's worth it here to try to go long. I mean, 2150. I actually don't mind that play now. Above here, 2120, above the 50 period. I actually don't mind going a little bit long right now on Intel above some of these levels if you break through this 2150. So I think I'm going to try it. I'm going to try that long. If we do zoom in a little bit here on Intel, that is 2150 exactly. So I'm going to go long.
Penny it is.
So I'm going to go long on Intel there. I know it wasn't exciting to Neil, but I'm going to try it and then just give it back. We don't have too much risk to worry about there. 15 or so pennies. I think we can get long on that. I mean, we are short the Qs, so that's going to be a little bit of a worrisome spot. I mean, I don't want to be long Intel and short the Qs, so that's the one thing that's making me a little bit nervous. I don't even know why Nvidia is not on there. It's the number one. It's going to be our number one P&L name on the show. But at the same time, we played this one like absolutely like the fiddle that we thought it was. We wrote down Nvidia early short 115. We got stopped out. We went back short. We made the cash there. Then we also wrote down on the sticky note that once it came up to 115 again, if it did take and hold, we would continue the short, but this took and ripped. So there it is, man. We get that long, we take it out for about $1.70, comes right back into 115 again, we reload it again, then it comes back into 115 again, we reload it again. This is 3 times here on the long all the way to the upside. So yeah, this is a big stock. It's going to be our number one name today on Trader TV Live, and Nvidia for the win. So Intel, definitely thinking about getting that long, and I do know it would mean I would probably sacrifice these Qs, but at the same time,
well, Intel's not part of the index.
no, but it's not going to go up it's not going to go down if the Nasdaq rips. So we'll wait to see. But here's the Nasdaq making a move up.
It's been relatively weak all day. It's possible.
Of course, anything's possible. But I mean, I'm trying to actually like if I would trade this thing, I would try to make that 20 or 30 cents, and so I'd have to use at least a couple hundred shares. And I just don't know if I want to give it all the way back. I don't know. I'm going to wait, but I do like Intel. I think it's worth buying.
Either way, I don't know. I don't know if I want to reverse it into the long, but I'm definitely getting out if it breaks the 50 level, because it wasn't just a random spot. That's where it kind of tried to curl off the short this morning. So didn't break out the pre-market highs like a lot of things did. This one didn't, but it tried to bounce. This is also the 200. Sorry, check that. The 50 period on the daily is also where it bounced. We did have one long off 21, but if it breaks that 2150, I'm jumping out of that trade. Intel is looking nasty, but the good news is could close above that 50 period on the daily after losing the 200 period literally yesterday. So a bit of there's always a silver lining somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, Meta, last on the list over here, down almost 2%, trying to recover off the lows, off the lows as well. There's really no specific catalyst on this one, but Meta has been getting hit hard after making those all-time highs. It feels as if we've just got more down days in the way that we had those 20 straight days of green. Meta, guys, about $100 off that all-time high.
I hope Meta goes lower. I put bids in for Meta as well, hoping we get an extended move somewhere. I mean, I didn't think it would get to $560. Maybe Meta's not dropping $100. It's not going to happen in a single day, but on the way to the 200 period moving average, I'd like to get some in front of 600 and then probably put another buy in there in front of 570. I feel better about Meta than I do about like Apple and Microsoft, and yeah. Let's just leave it at that. Did not trade Meta today, but this is one that's on the dip buy into the 200 period list if we get any continuation to the downside. And then as mentioned, I'm out at 51 exactly on Intel, and the next place I want to be is AMD dip buy. Bought it a couple times on the dip, but there hasn't been a dip in a hot minute on AMD. It's right at that 101 half, which is not the high of the day, but was the lower high that AMD put in yesterday. There's still a lot of room to go. Oh, the other name that I'm watching here is SMR, which is almost at the absolute top. Like, what a reversal. 15% up after literally not moving on its earnings. I mean, it shook people out, but factually, it didn't actually go anywhere in the aftermarket. It made a bottom and now up at almost $18 on SMR and just continues to squeeze. So happy in the long term, but I took this one out in front of $17, and I'm still looking for a pullback. Maybe right back out in front of 17, like get some quarters on any dip, and then continue the rip on this. That's another example. Like, it went $2 before I went long in the stock.
All right. We went long on Intel. There it goes, you know, so it's a nice little win here already on Intel. We talked about trying to maybe get this, and we got it. The only problem is, you know, like we had said, the TQs probably runs that top, so they did that. So we're going to be long Intel right now. And again, this is just the difference, right? Like we were talking about, I wanted the long, Neil wanted the short. He didn't want to flip it over. I wanted to flip it over. Just different thinking. It could still tank, right? I mean, this market could still come back in right here. But we are above now. We're starting to, like, I'm starting to think now that this long into the end of the day here, as we've had a lot of talk about a lot of stuff. And I don't know if we're done yet. You know, Canada's come back, and I don't think this is all just complete tariff nonsense. We do have the futures making moves. We do have non-farm payroll, I believe, on Friday. So that's another one moving around. We're now $19 in the money on Tesla. Excuse me. And Nvidia as well. I mean, a huge move. So now we'll just wait to see if Intel can copycat all the way upside here as well. Futures, I mean, we probably just have to flip long at this point, honestly. We should have maybe looked at that down there in and around that 71.50, or sorry, 71 flat. We maybe should have thought about it. You're coming right up right now into this marker of the 50 period. So that's a 200 period on a 5-minute chart. You're getting really close to that. So maybe the move stops here, but a nice continuation play. I could see this going, mate. I mean, look at that. Like, we take a look at this right there on Intel now. Intel now, like, we're just making calls, man. We're just short calling, and that is what it is right now. We just went long on Intel 2150. It's at 2166. Okay. And again, just like I said, man, different strokes for different folks. We wanted the long, and that was that. So we just take it. Like, you got to sometimes, that's what I try to do, like, you know, focus on your own kind of style and just do that, because when it's working, and you know, I can tell when other styles aren't. So I'm just going to wait for this and see what winds up happening. I do like the TQs though. Like, if we can get, I would really love a 50 period moving average long now. We just got stopped out. We just tried it at 71.30. You guys saw, like, that's where we were short. It does go all the way down to 70.50. We were happy with it, and then we wind up losing on the last piece there. Okay, here comes a little bit of a pullback. Again, going long on a name like an Intel that's weak on the day is not the greatest move. So let's just wait on it. We're out of about 25%, so it could still fade out. Apple, I thought Apple would be actually stronger than the market, but it's actually weaker right now. It's only up 0.1 right now, so we'll have to wait to see if that can get going even just a little bit more for that one. We talked about Google being relatively strong as well. Maybe some energy plays. We can take a look at XLE. What is FXI doing? We didn't talk too much about China here today, but FXI, yeah, so up 2%. Wow, nice little rebound day for them as well. Bouncing off VWAP early.
And Bob's not,
you know, nice move, like way up more than the market. This is what I was saying about the TSX versus, you know, some of those exchanges there in the States. I was bringing up to Sharif. It's like the U.S. market is actually down more than both the U.S. markets are NASDAQ and ES are down more than the TSX, which is the Toronto market. So
but I wonder what happens.
It's not like this is just hurting Canada, because it's actually hurting the United States a little bit more as far as
correct for currency. Although USD's been getting, isn't the USD getting hurt today?
There's no correcting for currency. Doesn't. I mean, I'm just talking about just the index itself, right? I mean, it's whether or not you're in US dollars or not, I don't know. But all right, so Nvidia, yeah, so I'm just going to continue to look for different trades, man. I mean, I think the TQs is probably worth a long now that we've dripped back in a little bit here. I'm debating looking at this one against like some 70, 60s or so. Do we actually like the long though today? That's the question. All right, I'm going to try it here. I'm going to go long. We just missed. I just tried to buy some 09s. We'll miss that. We'll punch in some 15s or 16s here. So we'll try it. Again, I was thinking about 50 period moving average. So that gave me the in. We should have been longer down here a little bit better, but we were talking too much, so we missed it. But here it goes, man. Nice little reload on the TQs. There's 10 handles for you. We always take a little bit out if we can get that. So we'll take out 10%, sorry, 5% if we can get it at 28. So there it goes, a nice little reload into that one. So yeah, I mean, we're here, we're trying to put some trades on for you. We bought Intel, now we buy the futures. So we'll see if we can hold on to these. Right now, I don't have any target for Tesla except for the 50-period moving average. The last one was 274, so we'll adjust that and just keep on changing it. 276.50, 276.50 is our, 276.48, 49 is our stop there. 100p for that one. So let's wait to see if that goes upside now, and then we can continue to change our marker. So right now, Tesla, again, was short early, got stopped out. That sucked. Then it dropped $16. Then we waited until a level that we thought could hold. Then it's all the way back up to 280 and change. So yeah, man, Intel right now, we're just sort of piecing it out. The best we've gotten was 66s, I believe. 67s, maybe even 68s, and a couple more out here in the 60s. So far Intel on that play is working out. So we'll go two for two or 3 for 3 here in the after show, in the afternoon show so far, but more to come, I'm hoping for, including more TQQ trading.
Yeah, I mean, so far outside of getting in and out of AMD and then Intel, we already went over that. Bitcoin's making a pullback into, right now it's like 87.8 or so. Prior support 49.70. Let me go to a 15-minute chart before we go to Adara. But if we get either that level or 49.25, looking for a revert back into the long on either one of those two. But we're going to Adara.
Well, the market's moving now.
Keep an eye on any social media related plays here, including Snapchat and Meta. I am seeing reporting from Axios that TikTok is plotting a local service expansion to the U.S. So more expansion into the U.S. for TikTok, which is nearing the end there of the extension, or I guess the suspension, of its ban. So SNAP, META on watch as Axios reports that TikTok is planning to expand its services in the U.S. Also, Fed's William talking right now about tariffs, saying that there's a lot of uncertainty as to how tariffs will play out, and that the details of these tariffs are key to understand. So you need to understand the details because it's still unclear as how they're going to be playing out, guys. Back to you.
What's that local low? 70,
Oh,
50?
Snapchat is, but everything's moving today.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, you pull it up, is like, is Snapchat moving? And, well, its chart looks like, I saw someone just say, like, every chart looks the same. Okay, not necessarily every chart, but recovery, V-shape, take out the highs, it's churning. Snapchat has stunk. Yeah, that's not a good looking chart. Yeah, Snapchat's not good. I don't know. I did a channel check with my nephew, my wife's side, and niece and nephew, and like they don't really use Snapchat. Like he always talks about how it's all about Discord and Reddit, but I don't know. And then Instagram, obviously, but some people still use it apparently. I bit a little bit of a dip in front of that 49.75, so just got into a long here. The other name I like a dip buy in, but I'm not sure we're getting it, is AMD. It just continues to churn. AMD's now, it's at yesterday's high. Like normally it's AMD. It's at a resistance level. You short AMD at a resistance level. That's generally been the way to go. So I can't bring if it's at 100.5, which is very close to this 102 top. So if it holds above 102, 101.5, I'm going to be looking for a reversion short on AMD because it's at resistance, and that's been the play on AMD for a very, very long time.
All right, I don't know what we've done here. Well, I mean, I know what we've done. We're in full control of our trading, but we've flipped over to the long, and I don't know. I mean, we're long here at 70, 90, 10 handles in the money on more shares. So I'm going to try to get some out here. We said that we would look at the futures down here at the 50-period moving average, and that's basically what just came in. So I'm just trying to, again, I know it's tough because not everyone will trade the same size as everybody else, and it looks like, oh my God, why is this guy scalping out like 15 handles and stuff like that? But it's it matters for sure to my account to do that. So here we go, man. Nice little move higher now as we continue through. Okay, just putting it back in. I mean, here we go, 15 and 10, 25 handles. I'm gonna take another piece out here at 05 if I can get it, but it's very, very choppy. And with Adair talking about some of this news coming through back and forth, we'll just wait to see if anything's working. We're getting more and more out of Intel because honestly, we're long at 50. It was a great trade, but I don't really even want to. I didn't even put a stop in on this, but I'm going to. If we break below 50s, I'm just gonna get out. We made money on Intel. We can get away from it if it doesn't want to do that, because I don't want to be stuck too many places long here, especially if this market does want to come back in. So we'll just continue to watch out for that intel. And here comes the futures right back in just a little bit. Yeah, a little nervous here because again, we got out 70-70 break, which is coming in right now. Like that's why we try to scalp this thing out a little bit. 70-70 and we're out because again, 15 handles one way, 15 handles the other way. We'll throw our hands up and be wrong on it because you don't want to stay wrong on these names. So let's be careful here as the futures are getting spicy. Like you're 1 or 2 headlines away from like basically just stopping out of anything both ways, low and high. So I don't know. Little more nerve-wracking today than yesterday, I feel like, with the market not really giving too much of a direction right now. I mean, it looks like we want to go higher. So let's just see if we hold. I mean, if we don't hold this, then I'm nervous. I mean, we've been here for an hour. We've been greater than the 50-period moving average for an hour. So let's take advantage of this little bit of a bump up here. If it holds, we have enough to make money long. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait for that. Intel, nice little bump back into the 60s. So let's take advantage of that one as well.
Yeah, like yesterday was, I mean, if you remember yesterday, it was like an easy just short everything yesterday. I think it's almost like a different situation. I said if AMD held the 101.5 and broke trend, I'd take that trade. It's at the resistance level. I don't know, it's probably not going to work, but the stop is in at the prior bar high, right about in here, 101.70. So it's the prior bar, not the high of the day. Would have made that comment. I don't like taking it off the actual. If it's trending like this, I want the wick high off the prior bar high as opposed to giving it to the high of the day. So we're going to do that for AMD. And IBIT didn't break 75, so I just got right back into it. I must have misplaced the stop. 49.75 did not break. So I jumped back in. Just consider it like I'm back in at the price we had before because I punched in and punched out at the same price. So we're going to see if that one gets back up to the 50 level, which right now it's at 87.7. So a break of this 50 is effectively like breaking 88,000, just to give you guys an idea of what is going on there. Apparently Fez Williams is talking. If he says anything crazy,
this is the problem.
I'll let you guys know. Yeah, everything's just whipping around.
Yeah, this is the problem. I'm going to get out another
piece. You know what? It's too whippy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trading and we're still making money, but yeah, it is tough. All right, come on, man. Come on, Mark. Come on, futures. Like we just took some more out right here at 71. Again, just if you guys want to look at the futures with me, I mean, we just stopped completely at the 200 period right there. You know, that was a good spot there. I don't know. I'm also looking like we have that shelf goes all the way back. Like maybe there is some holding powers here where we might be a little early. That's why like 70.50 might be a better call on this one. But if you're not in now and there's news that hits or something happens, then you're not in. And that's what it's about, right? So here we go. 30 handles. Nice move. Here we go. There it goes, up to 71.13, 71.14s. So yeah, man, we are starting to print out real nice right now, including Nvidia is starting to go up, Intel's starting to go up. So far here today, man, futures long, Intel long, both printing for us live right now for everybody. So hopefully you're on this trade with us. Good move upside here. We just took some more out on the TQQs. We actually got 17s there. No idea. Like if you don't put the order out, you don't get it. There it is. Well, we're right here now. 17. So you know, a couple good offers coming through right now. So let's go, man. Let's get higher than this. Let's see if we can get back up to 71.50 again. That was our short. Stopped out. Reverse long. We talked about it coming down into the 50-period moving average. So we're still who we want to be here on the futures. Disciplined approach. Calm, collected, and here comes a nice move to the upside on this name. So yeah, let's just keep on going and keep on making something special happen here with the futures. Futures has been a top traded thing here on the show for a while, so we're really starting to really lean into it a little bit more than equities. So yeah, I have 4 positions all long. But Tesla, we're just chilling with. Let's change that again. 270. Like, it's amazing that the most, like, it's $15 is like the least we can take on this trade. So let's just keep on adjusting higher, right? 277.50. Wow, okay. Now we're really starting to go. Let's go 277.75 because the next time I look at this is going to be what it is. All right, man, the futures are starting to go right now. 35 handles for your boy on the reload, and I hope for you as well. And then Intel, we are almost out of everything of Intel. We have about 20% left. Again, it doesn't want to break the 60 level. So we'll just take our 10, 15 cents and move away on it and look somewhere else because everything else is rocking for us. Intel is the problem. So we'll wait for that and just hope these TQs can really get going because this will make our day here. It's been definitely a tough one. But yeah, as long as you guys are green, that would be nice. And if you're red, that's fine. You can come back the next couple of days. A lot of us are red around here as well. So let's just stay calm down. Shout out to Arun on the NQs. Yes, we like Arun. He's doing well. I think he's retired from trading, but shout out to Arun.
He trades his personal. He does a lot of traveling. I don't know. I actually haven't talked to him since last year, to be honest with you guys. But the last I had talked to him, he was doing some traveling and trading his PA. So, which, I mean, I guess we all do to a certain extent, but I'm going to guess he probably is a little more active because for me, swing trading is a few times a year kind of deal. Quick update. IBIT's doing okay, but it's not moving as much. Like it just tried to break that 88,000. You got the 87.9 change, and you're not really breaking it out. Fed Williams isn't saying anything groundbreaking. Sees high pass-through, high chance of pass-through of the tariff to customers. Okay, so fine. Like that's what everybody is telling you, that prices are going to go higher. And then also, what was we had another note here. They were comfortable with their policy stance. So I think we've heard a lot of that from the Fed. So nothing groundbreaking, I don't think, from Fed's Williams. We'll see if we get anything from him. I don't know when he's supposed to be done talking or anything like that. Still want to be an SMR. It just don't, like it's now gone, it's just so linear to the upside. It's not really providing you with any great, like big, massive dip opportunities. So the play might just be, okay, take one of these mini dips just to get in. Like if it dips like 20 cents or so, just look to get in, give it a tight stop, and then rejoin the trend to the upside. 17% now here on SMR, looking fantastic. So the next offer on IBIT is I'm offering if it breaks 88,000 a little bit, but SMR is the one. I don't want to chase it. I'm not punching any highs in this stock, but the next time it does even one of these little dips, and this is only like 20 or 30 cents. I know that's a couple of percentage points, but it's up like, how many bucks today? $4 today. Next time it does one of those, I'm going to look to jump back into the trend. There's still a lot of room for this one to continue to go. Yatube, 37. ARM's up 3%. Good for ARM, but we were noting ARM still 25, 30 cent spread. All day long, the spread has been unusually wide on ARM, and the liquidity, it's just not very good. It used to be a heck of a lot better. I know it's done 6 million shares. It just hasn't been that attractive every time I look at the level 2. But yeah, nice little recovery for ARM. This is another stock. I thought we were headed down a little bit closer to the $100 level. ARM seems to want to hold it up at 120. Again, I'm not cheering for it to go down, but there were a few things that I thought maybe I was going to get a good chance to buy the dip on while I was on vacation. You throw the bid in there and just get lucky. I'm not sure I'm going to get any of them at this particular point. No 70s on IBIT, nothing under 600 on Meta. ARM was another one, thinking maybe the 100 level will come into play. Those are just a few of the names that I was looking to dip by if the market continued to go down. So the plan on SMR is pull back into prior high and look for the long to join the trend. Is that a dare? Yes.
Just keep an eye here on the market. Fed's Williams commenting on inflation expectations, specifically saying that the University of Michigan inflation expectations data is worth watching. Now, why is that significant? We know that as of late, some of these estimates, specifically for one-year inflation, have been very high. So he's saying that it's worth watching these inflation estimates. I think that's of note, and certainly it'll be of note the next time we get any kind of University of Michigan numbers. So basically, just to recap, Feds Williams saying that it's worth noting these University of Michigan inflation expectations data. Also, he's saying that the talk of tariffs are impacting how people is thinking about the near-term inflation. So saying near-term inflation concepts are being impacted by tariff talk. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, wow, okay. Intel's getting a little bit better than I thought right now, so we are, more and more out of Intel. We have about 10% left. Let's take another piece out here at 66 and then just wrap it from there. All right, so good trading, obviously, on Intel, as we've just put that one into one of the top, better plays here today, breaking that 2150. Look, we analyzed it. We talked about it. We liked it. There's Intel again, another piece out. So, I hope you followed that trade for us. I was looking at it. just trying to break that level. We had said that, hey, we were nervous about taking it because we were short the Qs, but then we convinced ourselves to go long the Qs, and that's been really good there. That's over 40 handles right now as well. But there's the level there on Intel. Just really calm trading, man. I mean, that's what we're doing. It's trying to find the best trades. We found it on Intel. We took it. So that was all good, man. And now the 50-period moving average lets us know that no matter what, this is a winning trade. Obviously, we only have 8% left now as we get up into the 70s. We always should hold everything, apparently, because there it goes. So nice little trade there for Intel. Nicely done to the upside. There's a little bit of size there. We'll put some offers there, see if we can get a fill. There we go. We actually get a fill at 69. Whenever I see big size like that, I use a gateway that I have to pay for. So I'll pay, I guess, $1.50 per 1,000 shares or whatever. I didn't put 1,000 shares there. And that will get filled, and then it gets just filled early because that BATS lineup is quite decent there. Over 60, or around 60,000 shares, right? 56,000 shares there. Every single one of these numbers that you see on the level 2 is 100 shares. So see, like you could just get out on any of these other gateways, EAB, BossX, BYX, anything. Just there it is. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bang! What a trade, Neil, right there to go long right there on Intel. Spin the money there for everybody. Again, a name. There it goes. Yes, sir. And that 70-plus handles right now on the futures as well. As there we go. Let's go, man. We reversed the trade back in there. So, again, big-time trading now. $18 on Tesla, 70 handles on that, on the Qs, $250 on Nvidia, and a whopping 21 cents on Intel. So, you know, it's been okay. I'm glad you guys are here. We did it yesterday for you. Looks like we're trying to do it again right now. I don't know if you guys are having a good day or not. Let me know what stocks you want to look at here, and we can do that. Bang, says Mr. Ian here on Intel. Thank you so much for that, man. That was a good trade. And we told you we were taking it, man, and there's the winner back on. So, yeah, we'll hold out a little bit. Wish we had a little bit more shares, but congratulations to everybody that had it. You know, we're still here.
Yeah, exactly. Intel giveth, for sure, in every single way. I'm loving the fact. Look, I want it to go up because we're still holding that one in the long term. We talked about that a little bit. We're not really getting that break. We just took 88,000. That's correct. Just very, very barely, and you're still hugging it back and forth on IBIT. So the next press to the high, like if it can go, so that's the NASDAQ on IBIT, the next press to the high is a resistance level, and prior lows yesterday were like the morning range lows. It's about 50-50. So I want to get out of this thing. If it fails to break that 50-50, I just saw someone saying Microsoft is looking pretty good. MLGO. Oh, that was what Sharif was trading. Did that finally break out the high? Nope. It's crazy. Like this morning, I'm like, yeah, this one could get interesting if it can take out that top. Today, I might have a look at that. And we obviously didn't because MLGO never really took out that morning high. That stock made the high of the day right before, like it tried to break it, like right at the end of our morning show. I was like, oh, I bet you Sharif's going to be on that and maybe it'll break out the high and we can look for that. Yeah, nothing really happening on that MLGO. And if you weren't watching when I said this before, this is what the daily chart looks like on MLGO. So you kind of know the drill if you're ever trading this or swinging this, how dangerous that can be. Holding on to profits and expecting the stock to go up in perpetuity. That's literally the opposite of what that name does. So SMR, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, it's just slowly grinding higher. There still hasn't even been like a 10-cent dip on this recently. 17% now. Like I said, I'm not buying any breakouts or tops. I'd like to be able to get the next available dip. So we'll hang into IBIT. Still looking for a couple of names that might give us a better trading opportunity. There, but this is one I want to be involved in. There's not much moving more than SMR on the day that I can see. It's definitely a banger. I'm going to consider whether I want to take something out on this, on SMR, my personal, and put it into and buy something a little bit more safe in the nuclear space. Like maybe put some of that money into GE Verona, which I already have.
Yeah, that's had to move down. I mean, they all have. We have a look there for Oklo. All right, so here's Oklo. Again, thank you for asking there. Medical Marinera, I believe, in the chat. Okay, so TQs, we just got some, oh, by the way, we just got some out there at 60s. What was that price? Yeah. 70s? Jeez. Wow. Okay, good day on the futures, man. Holy. All right, so for Oklo, again, we want to talk about, like, a lot of these names, I still feel like there's lower to go, man. I mean, you know what, like up 8%, obviously a great look there. I mean, and congratulations to anybody that's, you know, on this name today, but today's only the first day that you've actually gotten sort of that push back. I'd let it kind of trend a little bit more. I'd really like to see a break above like this 38, 39. You would have missed the complete bottom. So I do think for you asking, I just think that if you're going to play off this 38.50, then yeah, maybe it's worth dipping in, right? I mean, we always talk about if a fair position is 10 units, just to simplify things. Oosh, good. I mean, Intel's at 80s right now, man. That's 30 cents right there on 21 bucks. I mean, that's, you know, for the amount of share size, that's pretty decent. I was going to say, like, why not try, like, look, if you're long down here, that's great. I mean, you had a nice day today, but I still think, you know, 1 or 2 units down here, start a position to 20, 30%, something like that. And then if it does come back into 22 or 24, then I think you can put the other 3 or 4 on again. Then you're going to have 75% of a position, and then we just move from there. So that would be sort of the way I would look at, you know, an AAPL or anything, or AAPL or anything like that, even an SMR for that example, as well. So,
Yep.
I'm just hearing. Okay, so Trump, Trump administration right now looking to sell some federal properties, apparently.
Did you hear about
as well?
So this, again, this is all from like Doge, but apparently they had like properties that are like at 15% usage.
Oh yeah,
and they're just completely vacant. They're
look at these golf
millions and millions of dollars of rent on. So it would make some sense. But to take care of little business here, shout outs to Foremost Clean Energy, because we're just talking nuclear. So unlock the nuclear renaissance with Foremost Clean Energy, leveraging one of the biggest mega trends on the planet, nuclear energy. Partnered with Denison Mines, with properties strategically located in the Athabasca Basin, known as the Saudi Arabia of uranium. This undervalued company is poised to capitalize on the exploding nuclear market and offers unparalleled growth potential. The future is nuclear. Foremost is your entry. That is FMST on the NASDAQ, and here in the CSE, under FAT. I had to chuckle. I like that ticker. Makes it stand out, so you don't have to forget what that one is going to be. Here on the CSE in Toronto, if you ever want to put that one in your TFSA. And there was some good chat when I was sort of saying that about a G Verona. Like, if you're looking at the nuclear names, what are some options for? When I say safer plays, I mean like the ones that aren't 20% short floated and haven't found good sources of revenue yet. There's Vistra is good, and see people were saying, yeah, why not Constellation? Constellation as well. It's usually those 3: G Verona, Constellation, and Vistra are all in that same sort of bucket. So you know, take your preference. I own GEV because I got it in the spinoff from GE. And so that's the one I've been sort of staying in, just to keep it simple, not to own a million different types of things. Hillian, this move? Nah, not really. I just heard a pop on HYLN, volume spike in a small capper, but volume is 1.2 million, and it's not doing much of anything at all.
Yeah, I mean, none of these names, of course, are sparred, right? I mean, we had, you know, Tesla as a pick, G Verona as a pick. All these names were so good at the beginning of the year, including, like, I have Coinbase as a pick as well. This name from January 22nd is down over 30%. GEV. So if you're thinking about buying anything right now from the top, that's 440 down to 290 there today, 294. So you've lost on this name 440, brought it, again, it's all unrealized gains, right? I mean, we all have these plays, all the way up there to 440, all the way back down in, and what's looking like a good little hold level right here of 315, 316. So like I said, I still think we could go lower on everything, but 260 right there is the 200 period moving average, and you're looking like right now similar to whatever that other question was that we had. By the way, Qs are still going upside right now. So is Intel. It was about AAPL. That's what it was, about averaging in. So I think that right now, if you are starting a position or you're out something because you had played it up here, maybe it's a decent spot right now. I mean, some of these names have fallen in quite well. I mean, we talked about yesterday. Everyone was really smart thinking that 280 was the bottom for Tesla. And then all of a sudden 260 came, and then now that's the new bottom. So. All right, wait a second. Should we change our stop order now? We just bounced off. We might as well, man. I mean, we're trying to trade for some cash. 278.50s now is our stop. We're just upping our stop order. So this 50-period moving average, it's been a great little reload spot this whole time. We spent a little bit underneath it, but at the end of the day, it keeps on bouncing off these levels. 281.50 is a good out if you wanted to take that out. Let's just see if it wants to continue long here today. I think there is a good chance of that continuation as now the NASDAQ looks to get going. We're above the 50-period moving average. We're holding long on that as well. This is what the Tesla daily looks like. There was some other talk there about SOXL, so let's have a quick look at that. I'm just going through the chat if there's anything you guys want. Our bet is made here today. We have 4 positions all long, and they're cruising. So, and some of them are new, right? Like the Intel position we took about half hour ago. The futures position, same thing. So it's not like, we're just resting here. All right, SOXL. All right, let's go. So SOXL, look, great. Still, same move. Kind of looks like that Nvidia move, riding the 50-period moving average up. Remember, this is going to be... I'm just going to type it into eSignal because I have the details up there. This is a 3 times... ETF for all of the, and again, you have to go see what it's holding, Nvidia, AMD, Broadcom, all of that. So, anyways, nice move to the upside. Just looks like it wants to keep on going, right? Great. Look at this on a 5-minute chart. It's just boom, straight up right now. Looking like it's going to run into a little bit of a problem at 22 for sure. I just play support and resistance. And then the Spidey sense, right, which I think is the number one important thing. I mean, I love the fact that trading is a science, but to me, it's much more of an art, and you can clearly see that's your opinion. No matter what the chart looks like, your opinion has to trump everything. And it's just kind of like what we were talking about here with this trade on Intel, right? I liked the short. Neil liked the short. It was in the short, took some profits. It blew higher. He didn't want to get long. I did. This one worked out. Sometimes it's the complete opposite. Like I'll sit on the queues.
Yesterday was the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'll sit on the queues and I'll be like, all right, like we're short. We just keep getting blown out of the short, but then we decided to flip long. And it's just like part of that is just like you have to get in there and do and trade and experience that. And it is tough when you lose a bid or an offer, especially in this market, because you always think you're getting wicked out. And I mean, it's like, sometimes just respect the game, and like if you get wicked out, that is part of the game. But if you still believe in it, slow down, take a couple breaths. That's why I kind of put the RSI up on here. Like if we're really overextended, I will keep trying the short. But then, these things are just technical. Like even as it still keeps kind of ripping up here, the RSI still is underneath that 70. So, you gotta take it for what it's worth. But so that's it. We'll sit in here. Good look on SOXL, whoever brought that up. There's still news about Reddit, right?
One note on SOXL. There have been a lot of headlines on Reddit. I think it was an exec talking.
Yeah, they're looking to buy TikTok.
Because they want to get on the TikTok game, which makes a heck of a lot of sense, I should say. You already heard what I said. If you're looking at SOX versus SMH, remember SMH holds a decent amount more of Nvidia than the SOX ETFs. So if you really like Nvidia in the chip space as the leader, then SMH is the one that you want to own. And I'm not saying, I'm not telling anybody to buy one over the other. All right, the trend top has just come in on IBIT, so I'm going to trail out of it. Actually, instead of trailing out of it, I didn't have a trail in, but it just went to that double top. So I'm going to get out in front of the double top and then look for the next trade, which might be SMH is starting to. SMR is starting to pull back. I have SMH on the brain now. SMR is starting to pull back. This could be the first opportunity to get a dip buy as we go to Adara.
Dip buy.
So everyone, here's the Reddit comment. So the co-founder of Reddit, Alexis Ohanian, said that he's officially one of the people trying to buy US TikTok and bring it on chain. This is already reported yesterday, so there's nothing really new other than the fact that it has been confirmed. But also, I know Neil messaged me wanting to see this graphic again. So here is everyone's pick. This is as of the close on February 28th, how these picks that we made on Jimmy Carter Day, our top picks for 2025, have performed since the day after, which is January 10th. Bitcoin, I used the price as of the end of day in March 2nd to give a little bit of relief there because it did have that rally on March 2nd. So these are not necessarily up to date. These are as of February 28th. But in the first 2 months of the month, this is kind of how everyone's performing. And this is also each person's average ROI between their 3 picks. So on total, what's interesting, between all of our picks, all 6 of us, our picks on average, we're flat, which is really fascinating. And I'm going to be excited and curious to see how that number changes over the course of time. Because right now, if you average all of the returns year to date on all of our picks, you'd be down 0.16%. Back to you.
But then you got to see what. Oops. You got to see what the futures are. Like if the future is up or down from there. Like is it above or below? That's what I'm actually kind of curious from that day. I haven't looked. I just saw someone in the chat say DJT is absolutely flying.
Futures are below, of course. That day.
DJT is well, but by how much? I mean, like a smidge. DJT is not flying. DJT is actually not moving, believe it or not, and down 2.5%. So yeah, I thought maybe that might be moving around a little bit here, but apparently, no, it is not. So we'll see if we can't get a dip right back into that 49.8 level on IBIT or Bitcoin, whichever one you want to frame it. It's kind of the top of the resistance yesterday, and then a little bit of a bull flag putting in. So as long as it holds this range, want to be able to play the range, and then SMR, that's New York. SMR is starting to give a little bit of a dip as well, and that is it's a hefty wick high there on SMR. So I want to make sure, because this is yesterday's highs that it just got to make sure that it's actually getting a bid. Usually that's a reversion I'd be shorting, so I don't want to be getting in on the way down. See it catch a bid, give you a little consolidation, and then get into the long there. So whether it's this holding or IBIT giving us the same range one more time, those are the two names I'm looking at. If there's anything else you guys see that maybe not paying attention to, Nvidia is kind of going a little bit sideways. I have Apple up, but Apple's really not moving. I'm going to put another stock up in that window because I feel like the Apple's just not doing anything. They'll throw Tesla as the fourth stock to watch. Tesla, after 3 o'clock, is usually pretty good for some movement. We know Bitcoin can move. The other thing I was considering is Bitcoin seems a little bit stronger than Mara. So I was kind of eyeballing this trend break on Mara, but do I want to be looking for a long trade in Bitcoin but then shorting Mara? That seems a little bit counterintuitive. It's a good-looking trend break on Mara, and it is weaker than Bitcoin in the last few minutes here, although up 5.5%. I don't believe in the miners whatsoever. It's a lot of those other types of plays. I don't believe in MSTR. It's like, why not just own Bitcoin? If you like Bitcoin, just own Bitcoin.
Yeah, I bought some Cardano in the 80s.
Or whatever crypto. I mean,
yeah. Cardano. I made much more money on Cardano in my life than Bitcoin. But we're going to hodl crypto a little bit. Ozen. Profile pen. All right, 90 handles. And again, like this, we took this trade with you guys. That's at 2:30. So, we come on the air at 2 o'clock. We talked about this dripping into the 50-period moving average. Intel right now. All right, so tonight we do have reporting. We just tweeted it out. Tonight we do have reporting. And thanks for all the follows, man, on Twitter. It's really cool to get all this. 500,000 subscribers to the show, obviously. Over 50,000 right now. Thank you so much. 50,300. It's very, very humbling because we just started these accounts, and I mean, I'm posting up fun family things as well on here, and we actually go follow. Oh, that was really funny. The apparently kid. Oh my God. But anyways, this is what we're doing. I'm putting up some ideas. Oh, and I didn't actually hear it is on deck today. Ross stores at 4 p.m. Crowd at 4:05. Box is there. Nordstrom's is here. CRDO, whatever the heck that is. CHPT ChargePoint. CHPT.
Yes,
Yeah, ChargePoint today as well at 4:10. So yeah, big movers. We'll be there
is useless
to do it. Yeah, well, these are all kind of.
But Nordstrom's is a buyout now. Like
Yeah.
I think that deal's closing soon.
Yeah, so we'll
as
see.
Well, so
we'll see if there's any sort of a
going private
pushback on that one. Oh boy. All right. Thank you. Come again. We'll take another piece out here. I just put an 87 offer. There it goes. We've been hitting different things here. Bullish, bearish, or bullish. What's up, Laz Hansen? Looks like I have a headache. Yeah, I don't have a headache. No, it's all good. Right there, the kids have CrossFit tonight. We're excited for that. We did find a. Yeah, dude, they're not. There's some next.
I have
level.
mixed feelings about CrossFit, but
it's some next level.
I'm sure for kids, they're probably more reasonable.
Oh, I don't know. Get them out of the house, as far as I'm concerned. All right, so ChargePoint 66 cents. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a
52-week lows.
Kind of a dumpster.
Look, I mean, I'm not trying to be too emotional about any of these trades, man. I mean, we have 100 handles in the money. We nail this Intel trade. you know, like we don't share anything really around here other than our ideas. But you could just you could see all these trades, man. Like Tesla's, what do you want me to do? Go crazy? Tesla's $19 in the money. We've proven our worth over and over again every day here. $3 in the money on Nvidia. I don't, you know, I think now we can maybe get some out. Let's just get a piece out right now, just in case this market does fall back in on itself. I said we were a little bit nervous. I'm not really sure why. There we go. Punch it out. I'm not gonna cancel. I was waiting for 30s there. We'll take it out at 25. Just another piece out there on on Nvidia. We don't have, Intel is too bad because we don't have that many shares left for Intel. So we have less than 10% on all these things. So hopefully we can get going to the upside. We've canceled our Tesla. It was still 278. Now let's go to 279.50 right now for Tesla. And if we wind up getting out of it, we wind up getting out of it. 279.50. Join Adara, myself, and Chris Bretcher tonight on the market recap show where we'll be going over various ideas. We'll hear to see what Chris has to say about some of the plays. And then Adara and I will review all the notes from today, some of the winners, some of the losers, energy space, what's been going up, what's been going down. So make sure that you do join us right there. So, all right, man, power hour is upon us right now. We're powering this market long right here. TQ's just a little bit of a move down. That's why you got to take profits when profits are there. We talk about that right back into the 50-period moving average. Let's take a little bit out in case the market does what it's been doing, man, and that's been coming back in. So we'll start to average out, start to get some more fills here into the 50s, into the 55s in case the market does rebound or start to go back down. Only up 0.1, 0.7 right now. And I think the ES is still red, right? I mean,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, and again, we did have XLF. We know that Michael Noss has been talking about this. He's really liked this one long. And they battled back today, although down 3%. You know, you like this one long, my guy? I mean, okay, so he's long on the breakout up there at 52, right back into 50, you know. So wherever your stops are, that broke the 50-period moving average. So get ready. I think you got to be disciplined with a lot of these trades.
I hate breakouts in this market.
Yeah, so I don't know. Some like it, some don't. But there it goes, man. There goes XLF right now. Hopefully you're not too caught in that.
I think the last 2 years, when your market's going 20% up, the last 2 years, breakout trades or breakout swings have been fine because everything just keeps going and going and going. But I think when you get a choppier market, buy the dips. In the choppy market, I'm looking to buy dips. And if it gets to the high and pulls back, you know, you just find yourself in a tricky spot. Shout out to the super chat. Appreciate you, Swivel Stick, in there. I don't know what you mean by that one, but have a little fun there. So appreciate you. And again, at the end of the day, you know, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Join the community, share the community, because that's what it's all about, everybody. And we don't ask for super chats. We appreciate when we get them. I see a few people have asked, was there news in BBAI? And I saw our Hawk, almost wanted to call you Red Hawk, our Hawk saying BBAI as well. I pulled it up once today, but see the chart, it's just like every other chart. If something's at the high of the day and trending higher, it doesn't actually need a catalyst today. It's a rebound day, and the rising tide is lifting a whole lot of ships in this market. Speaking of the rising tide, we're almost back to where we got into IBIT at 49.8, which is, I don't know, it's like 87 something on Bitcoin. But if it does give us that dip, we're looking to reload it where we got in before and then play it back into the prior high another time here as we go to the desk with Adara.
Ooh.
No news on BBAI, but it is worth noting 21.6% short float, and they're reporting after the bell on Thursday. So BBAI earnings this week and about a 21% short float. Back to you.
Yeah, you guys know Big Bear AI is a play that I'm supporting, and I am long right now, Big Bear AI. I like it, you know. I think it's fallen back in. We was looking for this. I mean, there's a lot of plays right now that have come back in. We looked at that Oklo, that SMR, I mean, Rigetti, names like that have been going there. I just think that if the market does turn upside a little bit here, there's going to be a lot of return here, alpha, that you can get against the market just because of how it's been performing. So yeah, man, I do like the stock here, and I think that there's room to run. So I'm going to keep on buying this name. I don't know, I don't want to put in the kids' college fund or anything like that, but down here into 250, that would be bad. And I think that would be a spot now that I'm going to wait to buy, because we've been buying. We bought at 6, we bought at 5, we bought at 4. So, well, not at 4. We just bought the other day. So our last buy was at 5, actually. I think we bought at 6 and at 5. So, but I think there's 3 buys in there. So 650, something like that. So we'll just wait to see if we can continue to support Big Bear AI. It's nice that it didn't continue the downside swing, but again, you know, if this market does sort of hit the skids a little bit here, this will continue to go down. I mean, some of these companies not making any profit. We'll see what happens on their report. Probably not going to be great. I don't want to buy anything ahead of a report, that's for sure, anymore. So we'll take advantage of what's doing right now. Over 100 handles as the NASDAQ goes right back up to the highs. So we're rocking, man. Intel's now just even more of a banger right now 40 cents in the money on Intel. So yeah, again, I hope everyone's enjoying themselves. Hit the like and to subscribe. Keep it going. We're going to keep the fun going for you as well. Tesla just came out. So that's it right there. It breaks the 50-period moving average. Let me tell you how much that was there. $17.30 on that one. So not bad. Intel, Nvidia, and the TQs is all that's left. So we're having a little bit of a problem at $72 here, but we'll see if it can break it a little bit higher. This would be our best out if we were to take it. So let's just sit around here and see if that's going. Nvidia's pamping, apparently. The chat is going, man, we're $4 in the money on that Nvidia trade.
Yeah, I just broke the high of the day. Carl Gruen just said Intel 110 club. That has to be the low of the day because it's only moved. Oh, no, it doesn't have to be. Check that. I keep forgetting Intel was almost 10% down. Wow. 9% down it was at one point. So great look over there. The long is continuing to rally and continuing to work. I was just lining up QBTS. You were talking about D-Wave. Oh, sorry, no, you were talking about Rigetti. Oklo. It's nuclear names and some, what's the word? Quantum names as well. And this is what my family's in this one. But when you look at it, it's like, yeah, it's up 10% today. But it's also down 50% from the highs on some of these names. So I'm starting thinking like you ring the register maybe on some of these if you get a pretty decent move, because I'm not thinking this is all good on this bounce today at all. So especially in some of the riskier names, I think you'd ring the register. And with SMR, I said I'd ring it. I'm just going to let it trend back up. And if it breaks any kind of an uptrend, again, I would just get out. So if it breaks any uptrend, like it does one of these, or does something like that for a few days, I wouldn't take the whole thing on my personal account. Maybe just take out like 20% or so, because I do feel like if we do start to come back in the market, those are the kind of names that bleed the most. It wouldn't surprise me if you're not making any money, you don't have path to revenue. It's going to get pretty difficult for you if we do roll over. And if we get a recession, like some people say, it's going to get nasty. So you're basically in the consolidation up here in SMR. It's not doing a ton, despite the fact that it was a great breakout trade after earnings a little bit later. And this is sort of the thing. When you're watching the aftermarket show, and Sean and Adara and Chris are going over some of the levels, this is why you got to pay attention to them. SMR literally didn't move, man. It just didn't do anything, up and down. But if you waited for it to either break down, it broke down in the pre-market, so I guess a lot of people wouldn't have had that at 8 o'clock when it dropped like $1. But when it broke back out the bottom, suddenly that was a great long. And when it took out the top of that aftermarket range, it was a good long after that. So this is the reason. Whether you're trading the aftermarket or not, suggests that you don't, you can certainly find the levels that you want to work off of. I just looked at GitLab and was like, could have done the same thing over on GitLab. All right, IBIT. You don't want to seem to dip as far as I would like. So we might have to take this one off of the 50 level instead of 49.8. So we're not going to get a fill back where we got it the last time. Going to go for the higher low, which just means that the stock is trending up nicely.
All right, yeah. All right, so I know we're just long everything, so I don't really know what to look at as far as shorts, if there was anything that we are going to be going through with here as far as shorts are concerned. But like Nvidia's at 119 again, the death of Nvidia seems to be overly pronounced and not followed through with. So up now to 119. I feel like that could be that wick bottom there today that many of us took advantage of. Let's just see if that is the case. Like this 114, 115, maybe that's going to be a play. But yeah, great level there for Nvidia. I hope some of you were able to capture a little bit of that dip buy opportunity, put some into your accounts as well. So, pretty we did stop out at Tesla. It just keeps on going. But again, we have to follow our rules. We're always going to look a little silly. That's 279.50 out. It's now at 282.50. What can we do, right? At the end of the day, though, we still make some more money, though, going long on the TQs and holding on to this position. So, again, a decent spot here, holding these contracts upside now, and it looks like it still wants to motor. So, there it goes. We should have obviously had a little bit more shares. I'm thinking of even punching longer right now, but that's, when we talk about a handle, that's one point up on the futures, and because we're trading the TQQs, it's triple the NASDAQ. So right there, $70.83 up to 72. So we're $4 in on Nvidia, we're $1.40 in on the TQs, which is about that 140 handles. And then Intel could be the trade of the afternoon. I mean, we sort of did talk about that. Just buying that and just ripping it long right now. So good little trade there for Intel. It looks like it wants to work out all the way up here into the 90s right now for INTC. So let's get another piece out, right? 91, 92. We can sort of continuously exit. There it is, exit on that position there as well. So that's a smooth 40 cents upside on that. Yeah, no, pro day trader. I mean, we don't die on swords. We don't do anything like that, man. We just continue to trade, the best possible way that we can. And today it's been a successful one. So I feel like we missed out on Palantir. We talked about this as being like, look where we got stopped out, literally at the bottom. Would have been a good reload there off the 200 period, obviously. But wow, Palantir up that 5 percentage points. Palantir could see $100 tomorrow. So I like, obviously you guys know I like the stock. It's one of my picks for the year, and why not? I think there's that opportunity, man. It's well loved. This trade could work for a minute. So let's just continue to see if it does. And tomorrow, if we wake up and it's $92 or $93, that wouldn't surprise me. And then you get, again, another 5% move up, and then all of a sudden you're near that $100 mark again. Looks like we could top out around 102 or 103, but I like Palantir on a rebound play, especially if there is another contract announcement with the United States government. That could be a good play. They're with every government.
The European, the EU, was like $850 billion in extra defense spending. You could say whatever you, okay, obviously it'll move defense stocks, so we're going to talk a little politics here, but you can say whatever you want, but this whole pay your fair share in NATO and allies, well, last I checked, the EU's ponying up and going to spend more. So ultimately, how is that a bad thing? The defense contract is like, well, if the U.S. cuts a little bit, the money's just going to get spent elsewhere. At the end of the day, defense spending tends to not decrease in the world. So I think that's a little bit bullish as well. $850 mil, only to start. Zelensky said what he said about the war not ending anytime soon. I think that's obviously bad news, but it affects defense stocks the way that you would expect, unfortunately. Someone just said plug power. I'm not really seeing anything too exciting in there for sure. And all right, Mara, no, not Mara. IBIT's it's just not giving me this shot. So I am now going to take the 50 level if we're able to get it. It's right back up at the highs where we got out. So we'll look to see if we can't pick that up at the high or low. We got a couple of more super chats in here. Another one by Swivel Stick, appreciate you. And then we got one by Burak as well. Just want to throw in a thank you for the channel as someone who transitioned to full-time trading at home from being an office employee. It's great to have the feel of trading with others. That's 100%. Why we're here. Trading on a trading floor is something that we've been lucky to do for a while. It's a heck of a lot of fun when you make money, but trading is a difficult business. I mean, in terms of trading for a living, most people aren't able to do it. Doing it as a side gig, many people have been successful. Being a consistently profitable trader, it's not easy, but it's a heck of a lot easier if you can learn from mistakes, and then the ability to learn from the successes and mistakes of others just kind of speeds up your game a little bit there. So glad to help, and shout out to you, Burak. Best of luck in all of your trades. Shout out, what are you trading today? I'd love to hear it. That's for sure. Because I'd like this IBIT to give me a chance to get back in, but it doesn't want to. SMR, my next offer is in front of the high, which is at 18. We're long in just in front of 18. 18.20 is the high of the day. So I'm offering in front of the high today. If it breaks that, we'll see what it can do.
Yeah, BTC new highs right now, 88.5. Whoopsies right now for crypto. So I'm just going to actually look in Have a quick little look. I don't know where I put it. Here it is right here. All right, let's just refresh this one. This is going to be our crypto look just real quickly right now. So there we go. Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin 88,000. Ethereum 21.7 right now. So that's pretty nasty, man. It's 7-day total down 12%. That sucks. Ripple up to 250 again right now. Solana 143. That's kind of yucky for sure. Happy with Cardano up to 93 cents. We did get up to 99 when we were looking before, so we'll have to see that one moving around. Dogecoin, we just saw flash below 20 cents. That kind of sucks as well right there, as it's still holding into the top 10. And again, these aren't really the top 10 because USDC and Tether really are just stable coins, so they shouldn't really be in there. So Dogecoin right now, top 7, top 8, Tron, Lido, that's Ether again. So then the Pi network, Wrap Bitcoin doesn't count. Chainlink's not bad as well to the downside. Stellar Lumens, I've been in that one and in and out of that one. So that was actually a good trade for me as well. I haven't made that much money on Bitcoin. I mean, I used to go in and out of these things all the time when it was, for ICOs and things like that.
Almost all my money's in crypto has been made on Bitcoin. Like ETH, I got into ETH late, but that was because a mutual friend was in it. And it did a little bit okay there, but it's like, I don't know, Bitcoin was just better. So it's always been better to just, for me anyways, I'll say, to be in Bitcoin. I've dabbled, and I can say this every single time, I do own, like I have in my Coinbase account, because I put some money into it when I wanted to buy the stock, I wanted to play around with it a little bit. So I put some, moved some Bitcoin in there and then got some Solana. I actually took some Cardano. I forget exactly when I did. But I've just been holding on to it. And I had some Doge just for kicks. And what's in giggles from a while back. But Bitcoin for me, Bitcoin and hold as far as I'm concerned. So this is, it's not moving that fast, but you just bounced from 18 into the high on SMR. It is worth remembering that this is the top for 2 days in a row check that because that's yesterday. And then you have to go back to last week. This is Thursday, the lower high. So it's trying to break away from this $18 level. And if it does break the high, I think it can accelerate, give you the 18.5 zone here on SMR. So that's what we're looking for next. Either we get the dip buy at around the 18 level again, or we're going to hold it into that top. About 30 minutes to go till the imbalances come in here.
All right.
It's Bitcoin dip buy still to 50. IBIT dip buy at 50, which is about 87,000 on Bitcoin. And then SMR looking for the continuation long on this bad boy. Rally in Apple, I saw someone talking about there. Tesla's about to go green. Tesla's been an absolute rocket ship. That was a great trade off the bottom on Tesla. And the other thing too is, one thing that I've gotten away from, I used to do this a lot, and I'm glad I don't do this anymore. If I have an idea for a stock at a price level, it's like, it's a short at this level in the morning, and it drops and you don't get it, I'm not fading that level if it V-shapes into that level in the afternoon. Especially if it's like a complete V-shape, like rip your face off. Because I find it's like, why would I like that? Because to me, it's like, it's gotten very bullish. Yeah. There was your short opportunity at the open if you liked it. And I used to do this a lot. Like it would come in here, you'd get that pullback, and I'd be shorted right in there on Tesla. So I'm glad I didn't do that here today. I just don't think they're completely out of the water on Tesla.
Right.
Nor is Rivian. Let's go to Adair.
Just keep an eye on Apple here. The company basically just announced they're going to be disabling their advanced data protection for UK users and block the feature for new users. They did express some disappointment there over the loss of security protections. In case you missed it, they've been really trying to fight this order from the UK with regards to giving them backdoor access to some of this security data. So AAPL now is just saying they're going to be disabling this advanced data protection for UK users. So this is not the outcome they wanted, and they say so themselves in the announcement, but this is what has come to pass there. Apple disabling advanced data protection for users in the United Kingdom. Back to you.
All right. I mean, I don't know how much that's going to move the needle on Apple, but
probably should have gone long on Apple.
Apple holding the low. 236 on Apple. That looks like the spot. We traded it this morning when it was strong, but then it lost trend. 236, 3 days in a row. It's got the same low on it. I don't know, it's not above the 50 period or anything. It's kind of a choppy mess on the daily chart here, but that 200 looks pretty solid on Apple. I don't know. I don't see a trade on it this afternoon. Not strong enough to like the long. and not weak enough to like the short. So Apple, boring, but up today. But what's interesting is it was up early when the market was down. The market rallies and goes ham to go green. The ES is now green, and Apple hasn't done anything with that. It's almost as if all of the relatively strength in Apple is just, it's weird. It was so strong this morning. For it not to do anything is disappointing.
Apple's is very, very
It was a
weird.
beast this morning, actually.
I love trading Apple. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and lie about that. Okay, guys, it's a party, and you're all invited. I mean, the Nasdaq is still going right now. So, like, now this is almost 200 handles in the money here. Given again, like Intel also. It's trying to be the real one as well, as Intel tries to give us the goods here, back at some of these levels. Now, look at this, man, up to $22 right now, and we were actually like ho-humming, like, what do we do at $21.50? Do we take it? And that just goes to show you again, man, trust what you're looking at. I second guessed it because I didn't want to go long the futures. Thankfully, we go long the futures and we make infinitely more on the futures than we do on Intel. But look at this. I mean, boom. Like, join every day to try to figure this one out. But there it goes, man. Again, big time trading on Intel. There we go. Took another piece out at 08. I just want to start to layer this out with only a half hour to go. Obviously, getting out of Tesla is going to be that mistake, but we got to stay disciplined and do that. There goes Tesla. Huge move up, huge move down. One of the best trading vehicles you're ever going to find. We have it written on here: Tesla, Nvidia, Palantir, and the TQs. So those are the only names pretty much I traded today. I also traded AMD as well, and now Intel, as you guys can clearly see there. But so yeah, good day all around here for me. But let's get back into something else. So Palantir continues to go. What's up, BGC? My out is 1G in the money on Intel. Perfect. You're welcome, my guy. Congratulations on that one. We'll spin this for you as you go. All right. I don't know what was for lunch, some sort of a beef. Okay, so roll up the rim time, Fabian. Let's roll this up. Tell the people what that says.
Try again.
Mother.
Do better, Tim Hortons.
What's BTC at right now?
I actually want a coffee.
88,
down here, man. 88.
Ooh, bounce back.
You buying the dip or what?
Yeah.
Gotta buy the dip.
Bought that dip. Bought it right back up.
You like spicy food or?
It's all right. It's okay. It's depends if it's too spicy. It just becomes pain. But
I want to order. We got a few super chats.
I want Duff.
Can we do something? Maybe
so
put a
good.
chat up there where
Big
we'll.
wings. It's like you can't mess with that.
Yeah, for Friday. You here Friday or?
So good.
You're not gonna have the Friday flu or anything? No. Okay. All right. Maybe we can order in on something on Friday, and we'll get this going to celebrate.
I want to do Duff, man.
I know you want to do wings. But we always do wings.
I know you're right. We absolutely always do wings.
What do you?
You could always just have some cannolis for breakfast. That would be.
You guys are gonna need the food because we're gonna be shooting those lessons.
What lessons?
Those advanced lessons for the P.
We got some stuff that we're shooting.
You guys are gonna need the.
I'm a trader, man. Like honestly, I guess.
Exactly. So you're the one to teach it.
Oh my God. Try and teach every day, my guy. You're so good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Actually, well, I wasn't joking about the cannoli thing though, but I'm down with that. But that's not really that's not an afternoon food kind of thing. That's like it's a dessert. It's a treat.
The cannolis?
Yeah, it's a treat.
Okay, I'm gonna get the cannolis because we're gonna have to do, and then we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do on Friday as well. So
what about shawarma?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea. I just wonder, like, the wings is the right idea. It's just.
What else is good?
I don't know. Like,
the brisket's fantastic. It's that really good brisket place.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of.
I don't know. Maybe we'll just drink. Who knows? Okay, so let's just keep on going. Oh, what about? Oh yeah, that's right. Cabanos. That's the burger joint.
That's so good.
Oh yeah, that is good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I got it with those dudes when the boys ordered it one time. I got it. I've only had it once. That was good. They're good.
That's a good one. We could do that. Yeah, what's up, guys? Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, I know that I sort of brought over the 50-period moving average here, and we used to use it on the daily. Now we use it on the minute chart. So it's been, I cannot, like, the move up here, $4 for Nvidia. Wish we were still in this. Palantir just continues to keep on climbing, man. $88 right now for Palantir. I mean, if you're thinking about shorting something, you're not even at the right levels yet. This has to be $90 before you do anything. Just straight up pump. Like, Palantir's been awesome today. Like, just look at the last 2 hours, man. Just straight fire. Fire in the booth right there. What's up, Adara?
DraftKings here, this one pushing nicely to days highs. Seeing reports here circulating on X that apparently the company's CEO, Jason Robbins, said that they're ahead of growth targets. So DraftKings CEO reportedly making some positive comments about the company, sending the stock nicely to the upside in these last few candles here. Back to you.
March Madness coming back in, so I mean, there's always betting season. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, there's always
what
sports.
time of the year you are, but yeah, the Spartans actually look pretty good. I say this every single year because I love Michigan State.
Yeah, you do.
But that being said, I do feel much better about them this year. They got
I don't know enough about it.
Now, he's not gonna. Don't worry about his stat line, but Cohen Carr. If you watch Michigan State,
okay, I'll remember his name.
No, his highlight reel, nobody in the NCAA dunks like him. He only drops, he's like a single-figure scoring defensive guy, but he's an absolute monster. And they got a great team. But SMR is just, again, 18 to 18-20 and back to 18. So we're just scalping inside of the range. Bitcoin is pulling back a little bit here. So it is 330. This could be the opportunity to get back into Bitcoin. I like it in front of the 50 level. So if it does another one of these, see, there's a couple candles down. There's a little bit of a reversion. Try to punch long and it starts to go back into the upside. And we'll see if we can't get back in Bitcoin. Obviously, could have held on to it through the high of the day. Didn't. Now we'll look to see if there's one last opportunity to buy the dip.
One last hurrah.
Yeah, if it never rounds out the bottom, I mean, I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it. Mara's kind of at that key price the last few days where it's been a nice little short trade. So if IBIT doesn't prevent a long, I'm still in the back burner, looking at that Mara short. But first things first. No, IBIT long first. Let's not worry about that. Getting cute with Mara over there. Yeah, let's look for IBIT to come back into this 50 level first before overthinking it with Mara, which we haven't even traded today.
All right, so good.
330, why trade a new stock? If 330, if I'm trading a new stock, it should be an imbalanced trade or it should be a small cap nonsense going ham stock. Which there's none today, actually.
Okay. Oh no. Yeah.
I don't have a single. I have no stocks halted since 10:38 on my scanner.
Nat gas up huge today. Apparently, we can go over and look at Boyle. $99. Sorry, $97.99. Yeah, there's Boyle up 8.7%. There, it did touch 106 at one point. Wow, this is wild, man. I would not be trading this, but if you are, congratulations, man. Big time movements. All right, so now the TQs has come down. Whoa. So we just got a bunch out, right? Like just literally a couple minutes ago, breaking back down again. So there it goes, man. Right back into the 50-period moving average. I mean, we can get more out. We don't have. Again, thinking about how much we had, we've traded, again, thousands of shares of this left, man. We have under 100 left on TQQ. So I'm not sure what we have left in the pocket right now as far as a percentage point, but we're going to get out of everything now. So I guess our Tesla out wasn't too bad. I guess we just got extended out a little bit here, right, in the market, and now you're starting to fade back out. I almost feel like this almost looks like there was a headline there because that's a decent drop. We just lost 100 handles right there on the futures. So we were in the money, and now we're still in the money, but it's faded back out a lot, right? Intel, good outs there. We have less than 5% left. I'm just going to cash, you know what? I'm just going to cash out of everything right now because then we can regroup and I don't have to really worry about anything. So let's just cash out of everything. So that's what we're doing right now. Out of Intel there, out of the TQs. These are all monster winners, right? Like the TQs is going to be P&L. P&L number 1 today is going to be Nvidia. P&L number 2 is going to be the TQQs. And then we lost too much on Tesla to make that P&L 3, but Intel right there is going to be P&L 3. 103 for me. And then we have Palantir is red, and then AMD is flat for us today. So right there, we had gone short, then took that trade there and stopped out. But yeah, 103, nice little breakdown below right now. I think we want to rebuy the TQQs now. That's why I wanted to get flat on this, because look, man, if you can get flat, then you can sit that back with a little bit of a level head. We are starting to drop in for the TQQs. Maybe 70-70 right here could be a level to look at, and then looking at the 200 period as like a load up spot at 70-30. Do we actually want to go long right now with only a half hour left? You know, imbalances coming through again, so let's just be careful here. But yeah, drop and SPY, any news? No idea.
No,
we'll figure out what's going to happen right now. We're out, so we can understand that this is getting choppy. So maybe a little bit of a move away from everything. I have like 1%, not even 1% left of Nvidia. I don't even know how we got stuck with this. So we'll have to watch for Nvidia. Maybe a 117 get out and just make $2. But yeah, we're definitely falling in. Good moves punching out of all of these trades, man. I mean, there we go.
Yeah,
you were just in IBIT.
I was just I got out of IBIT, but I also got out of SMR flat. So it broke out. We're in front of 18. It broke 18. There's the out on SMR. Whether it's continuation or not, tomorrow it looks to me like the top is in today for this stock. I'm hoping this stock is not a one-day wonder, because if this is only a one-day bounce off the 200 period, I think it's going to be bad. But I'm looking for this thing. Like, I'll come in tomorrow bullish on SMR, not forcing myself to a long trade, but that hold of the 200 period moving average, it hasn't even broken out. It hasn't even broken out yesterday's high. It's up 15% after earnings and hasn't even taken out the local high. That makes me a little bit bullish on the stock. But Bitcoin did pull back into 50, but it's a little bit, there hasn't been any consolidation. There hasn't been any buyers stepping into it yet. But if there's even one little bit of a hint of a reverse, then I'll jump into the long. See if we can't get one more on Bitcoin. Let's go to Adair.
I'm not seeing any market-wide news to explain that drop, but we do have a catalyst here for Amazon to potentially be aware of here. Amazon's Amazon Web Services, or AWS, is actually apparently forming a new group focused on agentic AI. So new AI group here for AWS. Nothing on that drop for the market. The last news I've really seen until that Amazon piece was the DraftKings mention. So not too much to explain that drop, guys. Back to you.
Just be technical.
Yeah, we just bought a little bit there of, I mean, we're doing it again, face slapper, hopefully for this one. I don't know if it's going to last. We dropped our Nvidia at the top. We just bought some more here. So we just bought it at 117.37 and cooked some out there at 117.70. So it's 40 cents, but we're trying to hold to see it for a bigger move. If this breaks 117, where the 200 period moving average is, then we want to get out of that. So we'll see if it wants to work. We do have a position on right now, 117.47s. So where am I offering? Again in the 70s. Let's just offer Pete. There it is. There you go. Let's go, man. This is hopefully going to be a good idea for us, as now it's coming back up to the upside. There it goes. Told you, man, we're here to trade. We've just put on another position right there. Get something out in the 80s again if we can for Nvidia. It's 30 cents. Might not be enough for you guys, but again, we're taking it. Just trying to top everything out. 18s, 117.47 is our most recent reload. So now 40 cents in the money. We just took this, as my kids would say, literally a minute ago. So on any time right now, tariffs, China, this or that, Nvidia could get waxed. So we have our stop order down there. And again, not in love with this trade, but we're going to try it against this. We know Nvidia can get going here to the upside. I'm doing the e-signal ad read. All right, then let's go. Scan that QR code immediately right now. Grab e-signal. It is first month free. So if you got perfect. I definitely will. Ramin, I will go to Adair immediately after this ad read. So award-winning charts, man. Lightning fast data. Tons of stuff apparently in the App Store. Connect over 50-plus brokers right now. For me, it's the back testing in the screeners. It's a customizable charting as well. Tick charts, second charts, 1 second charts, 5 second charts. Plus, again, if you're here at Real Trading, you can trade over 60-plus markets, and these guys are completely entitlement-based. So if you want the Hang Seng, if you want CME, you can grab that, add that to your account, and away you go. So scan the QR code below. Trade smarter, not harder. Join the e-signal revolution.
The revolution.
I don't know if it's a revolution. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a revolution or not, but join that e-signal revolution
It is now.
and join Adara immediately at the desk.
Just be aware of UNH here. I mean, it's given back some of this move, but initially did get a little bit of a bounce, even more so than what the market was having. We have Zero Hedge, which is a well-known stock-related, I guess, Twitter account, for lack of a better term. They have a website as well. Anyway, Zero Hedge just posted about this fraud case against UNH. In case you missed it earlier, there was a report suggesting that the UNH fraud case did not have, I guess, sufficient merit. Now Zero Hedge publishing this whole article about it, saying that, quote, it lacks any evidence with regards to this Medicare fraud case. So keep an eye on UNH. Apparently, this fraud case lacking some merit, again, as mentioned earlier, now being recirculated by Zero Hedge. Guys, back to you.
All right, so now we're starting to really start to crank lower here. The market's really coming out. So I'm wondering if we need to give a little bit more room to this. We're going to get stopped out of Nvidia in a second here. Like, this, look at that. There it goes. Like, the market definitely came back in. We'll stop a fail because we're not going to celebrate the wins and not talk about that loss. We just talked 117, it broke. So in and out there at 117. Things seem to be getting little escalated right now on this front.
De-escalated, I would say. Is that
yeah, but
IBIT, just quickly, because IBIT just bounced off 50, and the lower bar is 49.93. So if it breaks, look, if it breaks this, I'm out. If it makes a fresh low, I'm just going to jump out. It's actually a little bit of a double bottom. These wicks are both like 49.93 and then 94. So if you lose that, not going to fight it too much. We'll play it back into the high if it's even going to hold the high at this point. Like this is the kind of day where profit taking would mean profit takers late are gonna sell because we've been rallying off of those bottoms. And the market overall, we have the water. We know we have Trump at 9:30 tonight with a bit of an announcement.
Oh yeah, that's right.
One shot. About that. Well, what's gonna get said about tariffs that we haven't already heard?
Oh no, nothing.
But you never know what else could get said. I think is the other side of the coin. So yeah, if we lose 49.93, I'm gonna.
Here we go.
Here. Yeah,
let's go, man. Right now we will go to Adara in just 1 second. Right now, 117. We just bought some more Nvidia down there. I didn't want to necessarily give it up. I'm giving it to 116.50. Obviously, there's stuff happening right now. Look at the increased volume right here into the close. It's been super strong all day. If it gives it up, it gives it up. We're taking some more out there. We're trying to negotiate this. 25 cents up, 25 cents down. Right now, we're riding with you, Nvidia. What's up, A?
Couple different catalysts. TSM just popped up on my radar here. Report from the Wired, or I guess just Wired, suggesting that Trump is still considering tariffs on Taiwanese chips, regardless of the fact that TSM has now promised over $165 billion to invest in the U.S. So TSM and Taiwanese chips in general is still potentially a target of tariffs. Also, keep an eye on the market. I did find a potential catalyst here that might be a reason for this drop. Apparently, there are some reports of Chinese naval ships near Perth, Australia. Basically, the reason this could be an issue is because it could lead to some geopolitical tensions. If investors or market participants do perceive this as a sign of increased military posturing or tensions with the U.S. and its allies with China, then that could move the global market specifically in defense, commodities, and some of these Chinese tech plays. So basically what I'm trying to say is it could be, this move in the market could have to do with the fact that Chinese naval ships were seen in Perth, which is part of Australia, a U.S. ally, guys. Back to you.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
it's like do a deal with us. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. Maybe you do this. Maybe you don't do that. TSM is nuts, and that's probably what's happening right now with Nvidia. We're taking more and more out right now on this play. It's 341 right now. Let's just have a quick look. I mean, I'm hoping we can rip up, but we already know where our stop is for this play. So 116.50, just to double check it right. If it breaks that, we have a market sell at that point. So right now, it's a lot of sells coming in here. But again, we don't have any NASDAQ names yet. So one of the bigger names, I'm just trying to see if there's any Oracle, I guess. I was going to say, is there anything here that might indicate what the NASDAQ might come through with? So Oracle's a sell. There's really nothing else. HIMS is a sell. We haven't looked at that in a minute. Maybe we can look at HIMS and hers. Other than that, Coke, that's not obviously a tech name. So yeah, it just looks like Oracle right now is sell. So maybe some of these NASDAQ names will come in as sell. I'm going to take another piece out at 95 if we can. So again, 20 cents. I'm trying to go one-to-one with better than that, holding out hope that we can get long. So we're actually out of half of it right now. So this trade will be flat. I'd hate for it to fade back out, but our stop is there right now. I'd like to make money on it, but in order to do that, it has to go more than 1-to-1. So we have to let this go a little bit. My next offer is like up here, 117. Let's just zoom in a little bit. What's that level? 117.50. I'm at 117.80. Let me put an offer right now, 117.35. We'll see if we can get out of about 20% of what we have left. So there we go. 1-to-1 trade right now. Take it if you want. It's a 30 to 40 cent winner here on Nvidia. I'm going to try to be patient. Let's see if we can get a move back to the upside. But right now, market is falling.
Yeah, the market
into the close.
And it's like continuing to fall. So the fact that, I mean, Bitcoin's going sideways. It hasn't stopped out yet. I'm glad we got out of SMR. Obviously, I mean, you don't know. I would have reversed short if I was bearish on the stock, but it's still up that 13 points. Tesla's pulling back pretty precipitously. There is actually, no, never mind. There's a couple of things that could come tomorrow on the imbalance. Well, in the balance locator, there's a couple of things that could be big for some trades, but that's actually tomorrow, not today, because it's Wednesday. So like I said, iBits are going sideways, but the local high from like 49.90 is to 50.20. So I'm going to get one out in front of that and then look for the high. Sideways while the market goes down is not a bad thing because at least it's not falling like everything else I'm looking at here. Like Tesla went down like $7. SMR pulling back only about, SMR pulled back 4 or 5%. iBit really in this last little salvo only went down 20 pennies or so. So if we can bounce that much from it, we're going to take some out there for sure. Someone, Ari Pages, said you took SMR short. Congratulations on that one. I wasn't willing to revert that one, even though it got right into the 2-day highs and couldn't go any further. It's what it is. Sometimes you don't want to short a strong stock. Every now and then, you just got to take the trade when it's a setup. But I feel like I didn't like that short. We just got out of the long. iBit, do your thing. We like to go upside. I got to look at Mara because fail. That's a fail. There's the trend break on Mara. There's the acceleration through. I said I'm not shorting Mara because I want to take the long in iBit. This is the one that's not doing anything. Mara dropped like, not a rock, but I mean, it's a 1460 to 1420 move, but I said I wasn't going to take it because I wanted to go long iBit one more time. So regardless of what happens with iBit, it would have to break the high to be better than this Mara trade.
Finally. I mean, Nvidia just came in, man. Huge move up there for Nvidia. There it goes, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, and still going higher. Again, if you guys are here for trades, man, I feel like we've got you covered right now. Good trading over on Nvidia. I mean, look at this. There it goes, man. Almost another $1 right here on this play. So let's just go. This is going to put me positive for the day. So good job there. We'll just continue. There it goes, man. Let's go. So again, like if you guys, I don't, wow. There's Nvidia. Honestly, we bought and picked that. We ticked it. We got that level there. I'm just going to take some more out here. Like we're heading into these imbalances. I don't know what we're expecting from them. Today was a little bit of a trickier day. Again, into the close, like we sort of had that sense up, man. Our spidey sense was up that it was going to be a little bit difficult there into the close today. So, and it looks like we're right. We had to wait for that. I don't know if we got lucky or not. There's the 50 period come in on Nvidia. It does make sense for me to buy there. So I don't think we bought it blindly. I think we did really good actually getting out of our trades of Nvidia, right? All the way up. Our best out is 118.30. Then we got more out and then eventually we tried the long again. That got stopped out. Now, again, good move upside. Let's see if we can hold it into that close with imbalances now less than 5 minutes away. So it's going to be a fun little movement there for Nvidia into the close. We're here to watch it and hopefully be able to capture something on a profit side there for Nvidia. So let's just wait for it. Remember where our stop is 116.50. I mean, if this thing comes out, but now we can't. Now we can't lose on it. It actually went to P&L number 1 on that move. So now we'll have to wait to see if it comes out a sell, our order's in there. If it comes out a bid, then this thing could get back into that 119 area. So I'll take out another piece here at 01s. There it is. Now we'll hold the rest and see what happens with those imbalances. Less than 2 minutes away. So again, charge point tonight, Raw Stores, JWN. Join Adara and I over at the big desk and we'll review. CrowdStrike.
And I think CrowdStrike's the biggest one.
Yeah.
by market cap, it's the biggest one, but also just by maybe the one that most of us hold, or most people have been into or hold on to in their accounts. Although I've trimmed almost all of my CrowdStrike, which I mentioned that already. So look, IBIT got up to the top end of the range, but it couldn't go any further. The market's still selling off here. Like the ES just retook the afternoon low. The NASDAQ's right back into the afternoon low. So it's holding the consolidation that we got in after it bounced. It's held that low, but it's not breaking out the top. So we took some out inside of the range, and we might not get a chance at another play in here with only 2 minutes to go to the imbalance. It's still nothing interesting enough. You never really know. I'm expecting if there's an imbalance, it's going to be on like Nvidia or one of the other Mag 7 names. We've seen some big ones on Amazon and Google recently. So stick to those types of names. Maybe we see a little something tomorrow on a few other randos. But yeah, today we'll be looking at Nvidia, especially given the fact it's close enough to the high. So if you get one of those buy imbalances on Nvidia, then you can play a 55 reversion off the high of the day, which would be spicy. But we have 2 minutes to go. Actually, for some reason, I thought you said 2 minutes to go, and it's 3:48 now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a couple of minutes. For some reason, in my head, I'm like, no,
okay.
Looking at the clock, it's actually a couple of minutes. So we have time till the imbalances when they come through. Plenty of time, actually.
It's making me nervous, though. I mean, holding. I have Nvidia. You have IBIT. It could be on the
It's going sideways. Actually, I've seen it once or twice. And if a stock is not normally on the imbalance locator to have an imbalance, if it does have one out of nowhere of size, it tends to move a ton. We saw that once with like the one time Rivian had a huge imbalance. It was bonkers because you didn't usually see it on there. So I'm going to tighten up my stop on IBIT. But we have 1 more minute to go. Tesla's are all the way at VWAP. Great out on Tesla. That's at VWAP right now in $1 or $2. So that's a big drop.
Yeah, okay.
Tesla's probably another one. I'm going to have
Now
Tesla
less
and
than a minute.
Nvidia. Those two I'm going to have up. Tesla just had the biggest move on the market on this downward push.
Okay, 117 again. Yeah, like Neil mentioned here, we are just minutes away. I'm going to set this up so that we can only see NASDAQ and New York when it comes out, and that's all that matters. So we'll wait to see what's coming through right now. Obviously, these are all from 9:30. We only have 30 seconds left. My big one's going to be Nvidia. You know, the stop is in right now. Breaks below 116.50, which it probably... I mean, the NASDAQ, oh man, we were just up 0.7 and we were like, yeah, the NASDAQ's rocking. And that sent the spidey senses up as we talked about that numerous times. So here we go in less than 10 seconds. Just don't stop me out before the imbalances, man. All right, so we still have 30 cents before we're out. Here it comes. You know what? I'm going to take out one more piece right here just before, if we're able to. 2 and 1. The imbalance, oh, there it goes. See that little fly down? We actually got filled there just before the imbalances. Okay, so I laugh, but we lose on it, but we just got filled there right before the imbalances came out at 85, 86. So damage a little bit minimized, but we still go downside right now. Nvidia with a 3 million sell. Intel with a 2 million. Look at Intel, man. We're out of Intel. Wow, that was a good idea, right? Nice little sell there. Sell on Apple. The market heads to the downside. AMD with a sell as well. SMCI, though, with a buy. Wow, okay, SMCI, I see you. But there goes Nvidia getting washed to the downside now. Right back into 116 again. Goes Nvidia and goes the market. So what goes up must go down, I guess, is when you're playing in balances and nobody sparred from that move, including Nvidia, down to 116. Look, if that's a buy, man, we're right back up here at the high of the day. So again, well traded, and I feel like well warned. We talked about that was going to be a play, and it looks like Nvidia does hold us to it. Nice move to the downside right there. The NASDAQ right down to VWAP instantly.
Yeah, I mean, the NASDAQ
wow.
Up. So I actually punched out of IBIT there. Had an accidental short, which we just get out of like right away, because I wasn't trying to short the stock, but we punched out of IBIT when it broke that shelf. 2 said downside. It wasn't gigantic out there, but TLT at the 4.4 is the biggest of the bunch. So I'm a little surprised to see TLT there. It's a 20-year Treasury ETF for anyone that doesn't know that. And TLT not moving. So worth noting. Number one imbalance, big size, 10% of the day's volume, it literally didn't move. So I guess that's it's a nothing burger.
Yeah.
The one that stands out actually a little bit to me would be NCLH at 2 million shares, because that's a completely random name to have I thought it was it is a sell imbalance. Yeah, 2 million sell imbalance. So there might be a play here with 2 million to sell. It's on 24 million on the day. If this flips to a buy, look for a reversion on NCLH, because that's a relatively large imbalance. You don't usually see that for Norwegian. Oops, where's Norwegian on the day? Just had my e-signal up there because I was looking at some stuff. Oh, yuck, bad day for Norwegian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, down 4%. It's huge off the highs. This could be a reversion play. It bounced off a good level.
That stopping?
So I'm going to look for 355.
50.
At 355, I'm going to look for a flip on Norwegian, or at least a pair off of that sell and bounce, because it's right in here off of VWAP. See if I can't catch a quick little trade there. A friend of ours just went on, I think it was these guys, and he sent some pictures. It looks fantastic. I've never been on a cruise. One of these days.
Yeah, same. I've never been on a cruise too. Maybe we will. I don't know. I'm probably more of a resort guy. Okay, so we're gonna try it one more time here. I just thought we're a little bit early. We probably should be waiting for 355. I just want to try this. Right there could be some support. I thought right around here, right where we just got filled, 68.50s or so for the futures. So that's where we're long. You can see we're long now at 68.90s. So I'm going to get something out here as we made our way a little bit back here into the 80s now, if we can get that. There it is. So we'll just see if this name wants to continue to go a little bit higher. Hopefully it does, and we'll be able to take a little bit of profit on this. TQs did drip down a little bit, so we'll average that in. Now we're flat on the trade. Let's just see where it goes. Remember, 68.90 was our play there. We'll see if it can get bounced back. Oh, there it is. 60. Okay, so good trade here. As there goes the futures, man, back up to the upside. So again, not scared to trade it at this time, but we've seen the imbalances. So let's start to take a little bit more out. We do have an offer at 69.25s and then higher. I mean, if we do get that reversal, we still have our stop in. So we still could get stopped out, and that would not surprise me if that did happen. But all right. So Nvidia is still a big sell. So we'll wait to see if that can work itself out a little bit. Now don't mean to close this on you guys. Let me put this over here. Trying to work that imbalance off right now. As Neil mentioned, the 20-year Treasury, TLT's 20 or 10?
It's even bigger. It's a 20-year.
20, okay. So not worried about that one. But anyways,
bigger.
There goes Nvidia getting paired off just a little bit more. So yeah, man, we're putting some damage on the board right now. Wow, this is going to be a big stock for me again right there. Yes, sir. So there it goes, man. We talk about this. It's a nice move back upside right now for the TQQs. So right now we're in a 70 handle winner. Let's see if we can get this going now back up to the upside on this Nvidia flip. Big sell came back in for Nvidia.
Yeah, 3.7 million sell Nvidia.
Some more out, but the market's not moving. The market's actually going higher. So we get some more out there at 69.30s right now. So here we go. Let's see what winds up happening, man. This could be a monster trade. I'm waiting at 69.50. If this can flip over, oh boy, did we do something special here with these TQs. So here we go. 5, 4, 3. That's too fast. 2, and 1. All right, there it goes. It's not really doing much for the futures, so we'll take a piece out here at 30. Look, man, it's 80 handles in the money. Here we go. Let's go to the upside. Nvidia flips over just a little bit, and it's starting to go upside now as well. So here we go, Neil. It's a banger to end the day, man. So swing it up. You've got NCLH. That's a good one. Almost 7,000 people watching. Good. Now you know what I'm all about, man. Hopefully we can continue this good luck, but the future's really banging it out here. The number one traded name on the show today will be TQQs, followed by Nvidia. I don't know what your top stocks are, but we've got Intel on here as well, and we will be positive.
Intel was very quickly. NCLH did bounce, but it didn't flip, so I just punched out. The idea was to take if it didn't flip, it's still 2 million to the sell side. So it might have made a little bit of a bounce there, but the plan of action was that was going to pair off. That's the plan. It didn't flip. I get out of the trade. I don't care what happens after. It could flip, but even if it goes to the upside further, that wasn't the plan. You know, it only moved like 4 or 5 pennies in there, but maybe it goes higher. But you got to be able to take your plan of action. Had it flipped, it obviously would do a little bit better. Intel was a good short this morning. That's the one that was there for me. This will probably end up flipping NCLH. No, it's still 1.7 million to the sell side. So you got to be able to follow your plan. It does bounce off you up nicely, though.
Yeah, what's up, David? I mean, I just responded, but I actually didn't respond to this. Yeah, we won't tell you our size, but at the end of the day, if you just ask us if we're green or red, then ultimately, I feel like that's the most important thing, because everybody will trade their own share size. So it doesn't really matter. Like, if I'm up $100 or down $100, does that really matter? It's just a matter that the word up is involved, right? And I think that's what matters. And so yeah, hopefully you guys are green or red today. Like I said, you can ask us in the chat, tag us, and we would be more than happy to tell you. That goes for the midday guys. That goes for all of us. That's something that we've discussed, and we're happy to do that. So, all right, there it is. So we are just starting to get flat now. This is 75 handles in the money for us now. So I'm going to start to just to get more and more out. We still have 25% of this left. So I'm going to punch out there. We just got a 38 fill. I also punched at 35. So we're starting to get more and more out here to the upside. So here we go, man. We use, this is called P Pro 8, so thank you, Gurjeet. Again, like, we're going to see it. You can tag us. I see my name, Neil will see his name. So if there's anything you guys want to do and ask us, just tag us right there, and there it is. So thank you, Gurjeet. This is P Pro 8. It is a proprietary software through Real Trading. So yeah, you can't sign up for this software unless you are part of the team. So that's what we're doing right now with only 2 minutes to go. I'm going to sit here. So the market recap show will be going on. But right now, we are 90 handles in the money here on the TQQ. So we're going to start to get out a little bit.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Great trade over there. Alan Newton, I agree with you. MSTR is on a tear. I like Bitcoin. Every time someone asks me with like MSTR or something else, I always come up with the same answer with you. I like Bitcoin. It's worked for me. And I'm not a huge fan necessarily of what Saylor is doing as an action plan. I just feel like you should be in Bitcoin. But it is a squeezable type of name. It hasn't been performing all that well. So yeah, that's all I'll say about MSTR. Maybe Trump does talk about crypto tonight. You never know. Absolutely anything could happen. Like, he could say something, we could be at like 93,000 for all we know. So anyone out there, if you're with Real Trading, you might want to look at Blue Ocean tonight, which is the overnight trading that anybody can do. And you've got OTC Moon as well out there, because I think Trump's going to likely move the market. Some traders have done absolutely fantastic with it. Like everything else, there is less liquidity. If you trade around when he's talking, there's less liquidity to begin with. But we saw with the Tesla event, we saw with the election, people did really, really well trading some of those moves. And as long as you have a good strategy and a good exit plan, you can be safe. But again, I don't like MicroStrategy. I like myself some Bitcoin. Less than 1 minute to go. Here, I'm going to have eyeballs at the close on the biggest and the baddest name in the market, which is, okay, technically it's not the biggest, Nvidia anymore. But you know what I mean when I say that. Only about 30 seconds to go. Wow. This is one I like to watch to see how we close.
These cues, man. I want to thank everybody as well. What's up to Hallam's here? He's been watching 3 years now. He doesn't care about the P&L, and that's great. I don't think you do. And thank you for calling me the best, but that's probably Joe. So thank you all. Keep it up. Blue is a great color. Thank you, Steve Canyon, as well. Oops. Less than... Now we only have 5 seconds to go, so way too late there. But thanks, Adara. This is brought to you by Foremost Clean Energy, FMST. Ring that damn bell. Thank you, Miss Adara, for that one. Oh boy, man, the futures are still ripping here in the after hours. There it is. Wow, what a big trade to end the day, man. We just got this out. Huge trade on the TQs. The market is moving around. What a monster right there. So yes, sir, man, that's that day right here. We'll hold up the trophy today, P&L-wise, but as you guys know, that don't matter. So Neil, kill him with kindness. I got to get back up there. I'm going to get a water. You may have to hold for a couple minutes.
Yeah, we're all good here. The market's going to end up just ever so slightly to the downside on the NASDAQ. The ES, a full point on the ES. Here, I'll give you the black chart so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. There was a massive rally. We were green on the NASDAQ, the big recovery rally, but they didn't hold on to the bid. We always talk about this. When you're looking at how to evaluate a day, sometimes what they do at the end of the day, I use they you loosely, you know what I'm talking about when I say that. Sometimes what happens at the end of the day is just as important as the overall trend. The fact that got sold off pretty heavily, I don't think is the best sign in the world tomorrow for the market. But at the end of the day, it's still a V-shaped recovery. Can't really complain too much about it. I just saw in the chat, there's the wrong way just said bull trap. I don't know that I want to go that far, but like that's the Qs. The Qs dropped, what do we go, 503 into 494, bounced a little bit there at the end. But the bigger sign for the Qs that matters to me is you went right in front of correction territory was 87 flat, 487 flat on the QQQ. We bounced off of that and closed back above the 200 period moving average. So despite everything I just said, I start looking for that's a reversal and hold some of those higher lows. Like that's where I'm going to begin with. I said SMR, I'm going to begin with looking at long tomorrow. but it doesn't mean I'm going to get married to it for sure. Shout out to Fabian and Remain like we always do on the 1s and 2s. Shout out to Andre on our socials. Got a big shout out on the midday crew. Sharif and Joe killing it on Learn to Trade and Joey Options, giving you lots of options knowledge. Want to give a big shout out to Bears versus Bulls. I know you enjoyed your birthday, and we don't really thank you enough there. And of course, got to give a shout out to the aftermarket crew, which you're about to go through right now. It's going to be Sean. It's going to be Adair. We got CrowdStrike. Oh, Chris and special guest Chris Brecher. We got CrowdStrike. That's a massive earnings name coming on through. So enjoy it, everybody. Earnings season isn't over yet.
It's massive.
It is. And we already have Ross earnings, so starting things off here.
Massive Ross earnings.
Yeah, ROST, Rick Ross, not so much of a big boss here. Q4 2024 GAAP earnings of $1.79 per share. That is a beat over estimates of $1.65. Sales missed 5.91 bill versus 5.96 bill. We're going to have to wait to see the rest of this report because right now, initially a big drop here, 136 to 131. Right now we come up slightly flat, so we're going to have to wait and find out here for ROST. But again, we're looking for ChargePoint. We're looking for CrowdStrike. We're looking for Credo Technologies, which I put on that list because it moved about 50% last time. So it is a mover, and it had a decent implied move as well. So lots of big potential movers today. On these earnings, we're going to have to wait and find out, though, what we get.
All right, thanks, Adara. Yeah, we're going to go over the market here today. I mean, what a wild day it was, man. The market was up, it was down, started down. As we had, again, talks from Trudeau today. The Canadian Prime Minister came through as well. And Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico both spoke out today against these tariffs. And, we're retaliating back into that market. Today, we do get a nice move up for gold. Gold up almost 1% as, again, maybe a flight to a little bit of safety there for GLD. It started the day up at 270, which was real nice. Finishes the day at 269 and change. Gold still holding out okay, especially on the daily chart here. I'm glad that we've got a little bit involved with gold for the first time in my life. We were buying some gold down here, so that's starting to get up to the upside there. Uranium today, we did see Neil trading some SMR there. Nice little move upside for SMR today. I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting on my hands with that trade as well as uranium back up there to the upside. The URA, I feel like this is probably the safest thing to buy. Again, if you're into ETF land, like huge move right down into support again. And you have to look at the ETF, see what they're holding, see what kind of names are involved in that, and then make your decision on that. You're not going to get sort of the percentage gain from a URA as you would some of the other plays like an NNE or something like that. But right now, uranium with one of the biggest moves of the day, as well as solar. I really like FSLR. FSLR, I don't really like it, but it's supposed to be best of breed. So when we're looking at that one, maybe it is worth looking at maybe a weekly chart there for First Solar to notice that it's coming right back into some levels, man. 120, 121. If this is ever a thing. And again, who right now is, worried about putting solar panels in their business or at their home? Not many. So again, sometimes when there is blood in the street, you may want to look, to picking something up in and around that area. But Bitcoin today, obviously a big story. And what a story it was. I mean, BTC really had that rally back today. We did have that dip down into 81. This is just a daily chart. Look at the dramatic wicks that we've had, right? All the way up here into 94, 95,000, then immediately down to 80 again, then closing. I mean, Bitcoin will never close, but closes the day right now on the NASDAQ close of 86.7 or so. So right now, crypto trying to dance around. What a violent move it was today. 15-minute chart. There's that bottom at 82. Let's see if it will hold tomorrow. I think there's a chance we get back in there. Of course, tonight, Donald Trump addresses Congress. What's he going to say about crypto? Probably nothing. I'm not really worried about that kind of a play today. We did have Cardano bouncing back upside as well as XRP. So that's that. We do have the Benzinga Pro platform here. Plus, I got Adara to the side of me. So thank you for that. If there's any notes that come through about earnings, we'll be giving them to you ASAP. And the earnings that we're looking for today, of course, is Ross Stores, which we got right there, ROST. We'll flip that over and see what's going on right there. Oh, that's a daily chart. We want the minute chart for ROST, and you can see pretty choppy, but still a nice downside move, down 3% right here. The trade of the day could be CrowdStrike, so that's going to be the one that a lot of traders are looking at. I bought this on, I know this is going to show you a daily chart. We bought it down here where all the sort of kerfuffle happened there where they had that upgrade that didn't upgrade many systems, actually downgraded many systems, took offline. Delta Airline was offline. That was a big one for a while, halted some planes. I know Microsoft, some ad agencies as well were down, but CrowdStrike gets it all fixed up. And then look at that. 459, nice drop down for CrowdStrike. We'll wait to see what they're doing. EPS look of 86 cents. We're looking to get 86 cents of revenue of 1.03 billion. So we're going to look to see what happens with CrowdStrike. We're waiting for that play to come out right now. So, yeah. All right. Trump posted that these retaliatory tariffs will be met with more tariffs as well today. So, names like a General Motors, boom to the downside. That's not going to end out day well. Down 5% on GM. As many of these companies now look to possibly close plants, unfortunately, in Mexico and up here north of the border, because Trump has naturally just come out and said, hey, look, if you guys can't succeed with shipments crossing the border, then the only way to avoid tariffs is making the damn thing in the United States. He's right about that. So let's see the cost of that. Mary Barra, part of GM, has actually come out and said that she feels that 50% of the tariffs her company can avoid, but not Ford. We haven't heard the same thing from Jim Fairley, who is their CEO as well. And you can see the difference in stock price. Ford right now, I'd said this to Randy, I think Ford is lower than it was 40 years ago. So I don't know how far back this goes, but if you look right here, this is, again, this is 2012, so we go back 13 years to get to this level of $9. So
we have some earnings, but not crowd yet.
Okay, what do you want to talk about? What's that?
Yeah, we can talk about some stuff. We have Box earnings here, Q4. That would be Q4 2025. I guess they're a year ahead of us. Inline EPS, they did have a sales beat, 280 mil versus 279.4 mil expected. Then we had Credo Technology Group, as mentioned. This one had a huge move last time, posting earnings of 25 cents per share versus 18 expected. Sales 135 mil versus 120 expected. That's a double beat. And their revenue guide for Q4 much stronger than expected. 155 mil versus 155 to 165 mil expected versus the estimate of 136 mil. So they beat on guide, they beat on top and bottom. What about CrowdStrike?
Yeah.
Are we here? Can they strike? They cannot. They are now about 5 minutes late. Sean, if we see CrowdStrike, I will let you guys know right away. The page open on Benzinga.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll get all of that. Look, again, we've had some CMTs on the show and looking at, like a Michael Noss, so on and so forth, Brian Shannon, many big names, JC Peretz, all these kind of guys coming on the show, and a lot are liking financials. And right now, we had Michael on, what day is today, Tuesday? We had Michael on yesterday and was playing long on this breakout. Well, I don't know. We'll get him. He's going to come back on Friday. But there we go, man. Breakout be not, because it just rejected. And I know Neil was talking about breakouts are dangerous in this market. Yeah, I think that's right. Dangerous if you're wrong. Okay, we have CrowdStrike. All right, so CRWD. Let's go over and have a quick little look there. Adair is all over this number. It looks like we're ticking a little bit lower now on CrowdStrike. Let's go for a 1 minute chart. Down a little bit lower. Whoops. Down to 360 right now. CrowdStrike. We're going to go through the numbers. It looks like it is out. I am seeing it on the board right now. CrowdStrike down to 374. Adair's going to parse through those. The number that we were looking for CrowdStrike, of course, was an EPS move of 86 cents. So that's what we're looking for. Sorry, that's Raw Stores. EPS of CrowdStrike, that is 86 cents. And then revenue of 1.03 billion. But again, what's going to wag the dog that wags the tail are the future look, right? We'll look for the forecast. What are they expecting? Are they seeing a slowdown? Tariffs, does tariff affect software? I'm going to say no on that one. I don't think many people are going to be too worried about it. The one problem is, and my wife told me this yesterday, so not vetted or anything like that, but she does read the news. Apparently there was something that happened where Donald Trump and the administration has taken back a little bit on their stance about Russian hackers or something. Maybe you guys can
have the numbers,
can vet that, but talking about how just pulling back a little bit on investigating some of that. Well, I'm gonna get that story, bring that to you tomorrow. But okay, Adara, what do the numbers look like on CrowdStrike? We're starting to head lower.
So I'm seeing apparently they had a net loss or a loss per share.
What?
But they're adjusted they did beat on the adjusted. So adjusted earnings of $1.03 per share versus 85 cents expected. They did miss on sales apparently. So 1.05 billion, apparently missing estimates of 103.2 billion. I was seeing a different number for the sales estimates, but I generally like to go with the consensus number. So it seems like they did beat here on sales. Now let's talk here about their Q1 adjusted EPS estimate because it's not great. They're seeing 64 cents to 66 cents per share for Q1. Analysts were looking for 96 cents. That is a massive miss. So
that's what I'm wondering about.
Versus 96 expected. So seems like we have a bit of a miss there when it comes to their guidance. It also looks like they did miss on sales. And I'm seeing on some metrics, they actually did have a loss per share on a non-adjusted basis.
Okay, so it doesn't look great there for CrowdStrike, and we'll just figure it all out because down into 372, if we could call up a daily chart here for Crowd, you're still back to sort of, some of these wicked bottoms. For me, again, 200 period moving averages are places to start to dip by and get involved, okay? So we'll have to wait to see what does wind up happening there. We do have Chris Brecher. We're not going to call him just quite yet. I just want to go over some of the names here that we had seen today. So it was a bloodbath in the financials, right? I mean, we talked about JP Morgan, nice little downside move there. As many traders right now get a little bit nervous that some of the follow through may not be happening. Are regulations actually going to loosen up? Are there going to be more deals that come through? What about the money supply? What's the Fed going to do? Because now we're looking, I think you mentioned March 19th, we're not going to get any sort of a rate move, but we may actually get rates increasing. Like, what about if inflation?
But we're seeing cuts actually now in
right.
May.
But I think it was only in May.
Yes.
Right, but for March, I think we're still zeros. I think we're not making...
I'm not seeing any hikes anywhere.
Right, so this was supposed to be a cutting cycle. Now we're like, maybe we'll get something in May. So I just am a little bit nervous here. JP Morgan down 4%. Berkshire also down 3%. Berkshire goes out, though, earlier at all-time highs. So not too worried about that. I'm well invested into Berkshire, that's for sure. But all the banks today, including Wells Fargo, as you can see, Wells Fargo down 5% today. Wow. I mean, a regional bank down, it makes sense. Eli Lilly, health sector not sparred. Technology services, though. Again, why did Google get the bounce? Well, I mean, if you're just going to look here on Google, so CrowdStrike's holding out, right? Still down here at 370. We'll see. This is what it looks like, though, making new lows right there. 363 was the low for CrowdStrike. We just wicked down there just a minute ago. So we'll have to wait to see on CrowdStrike. Why did Google bounce, though? Okay, well, actually, even a nicer bounce here into the close and continuing a little bit higher. We get up as 173. I think this is overdone, man. Google goes out at the top at 207. Huge pullback, well below the 200 period moving average. Not many Mag 7 names are like this. Google, I don't have their EPS, not their EPS, or their price, their PE here. Is it over here? No, we can find out what Google's PE is, but I'm telling you guys right now, when you're looking at here, I'll just do it right here on Benzinga. I don't know if there's anything else. Big Bear AI. Oh, by the way, I found out my average price of Big Bear AI, $496 for Big Bear AI. I did the math and figured that out while we were on the air, and I forgot to mention that to everybody. All right, we're going to call on Chris in a minute. I don't let a guy like that wait around for too long. All right, I just want to check out the PE. There it is right there. The forward PE right now of 18 for, I don't know, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Oops. I'll zoom in. That's called zooming in a lot right there. There, I don't know. I don't know if I can show it, but right there. 18 doesn't really matter to me. Don't worry about it. Or is that Fabian? That's Fabian. Is that Fabian? Yeah, it's Fabian. 18 versus 20. So if you're going to look at some of the other PEs right now, Apple, AAPL, their PE 32. That might not be worth buying, right? Amazon, I like Amazon. I don't actually know what the PE is for Amazon. So that's 31 for Amazon. Again, remember, Google's 18, so don't forget about that. Meta's probably a little bit lower. Yeah, Meta at 25. That's probably a pretty reasonable spot right there for Meta. I wonder if they're going to tell me what the SPY is. No, I got to do my work on that. You know who might know what the PE of the SPY is? Our guest, Chris Brecher. Let's bring him on. Hey, Chris, how's it going today, man? What a wild couple weeks we've had.
Yeah, his PE, by the way, is about 21.5 on the SPX, which is pretty high considering rates are like pretty high also. So
I was
there's a lot we could go over, but it's up to you what you want to know about.
It's my party, and we'll cry if we want to today, I guess, maybe. You had sent me, the historical, I think we like to buy the SPX around 18 PE or so. Is there a number that generally speaking, with your years on the floor and all the connections that you have and so on and so forth, generally speaking, do you ever look at that when you're looking at indexes, especially the S&P 500? Do you like to step in when it gets to a certain number, or is that not something that you've ever really considered?
No, it's when it gets way like the PE about 22,
right?
Like we've had, that there isn't a lot of margin for error on the downside if some news comes out. So if the PE was 18 and tariffs came out, they probably would shrug it off. But once the market's already overpriced, it affects it more. That's what I've seen in the long run.
All right. The message that you had sent me, though, Chris, I want to do... Chris, so Dinkelberg in the chat says Chris could be Sean's uncle. I mean, I think we look pretty similar now that we've got the clean shaven.
Sorry about that. I know that's an insult for you, so sorry.
No, man, I'd be thrilled to have an uncle as handsome as you. All right, so just real quick, you sent me a message, some of the similarities that you're seeing right now, and if you come over to the SPY right now, I'll let you take the wheel on this, but you had mentioned here a little bit of a drop down that we had seen in you started October, but late 2023, where we kind of had made highs at that point back in August and July. Then we sort of retraced from 460 all the way down to 400, 410. So we lost about 15% during that time. And I had given a stat earlier today, Chris, that over the last 50 years, there's been something like 27 10% moves down in the S&P 500. So maybe we should just relax. About every 2 years, we get a move like this. And out of those 27 moves down, more than 13 of them were 23% or more. So maybe we are in for a pullback. Are you seeing any similarities between that move right here and what we're possibly seeing right now?
Yeah, I wanted to show you with this. So here's the Russell on the left and the NASDAQ now. So you know everybody right now, at one time it was people who were worried about the bond market selling off and it would drag down markets. Now it's about growth. So you're seeing so to me, we've been keying off the Russell and the transports. So the Russell getting under the red line, the 200, made it more likely that the NASDAQ was at least going to kiss it. The same with the ES. So that's what we were watching. But what's interesting is just keep this in your mind and now go into October of 2023. So you see what's going on. You might say, well, the NASDAQ didn't listen, or let's put on the right the ES. So you're seeing the ES, and you'll see it did get to the 200, but I want to show you this and go back a little less.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Chris. With the market certainly being, I guess, pretty weak as a whole as of late, are there any particular ETFs or sectors that you're looking at right now for strength for different plays, either in a swing or on an intraday basis?
Yeah, actually, we just today, we just heard that Canada might boycott or charge for electricity in the 3 different states or withdraw electricity. So the first thing we looked at were nuclear stocks, believe it or not. So we were looking, and they exploded. No pun intended. They went way up, and they've been going down ever since the election. So the nuclear stocks and uranium stocks really went nuts, and so I'm going to still look at those as possible long ideas. I'll go over that in a minute, sure. I mean, I'm happy to go over that, but I wanted to show you this of what we were talking about with what happened back then. So you go into here, and here you go. So you have on the left, you have the Russell, and you have the Russell going down, and you could take the 200 back then, and we could take back into September. And then what I'd do is I'd take the 200 right here, and I'd make this nice and big.
Yeah, we like the 200 period.
And there, you see the Russell's only added. So the whole idea, the theory is that if people are worried about growth, if the Russell goes down enough, it's going to pull down the ES, which is what it did.
What time frame is that? What time frame is that 200 period moving average on?
That's on a daily on the Russell, and on the right, a daily on the ES.
Right. Okay. Because I'm, again, We talked about that earlier on today, that, you know, some of these breakout trades just seem to be like not really working out, especially to the high side, as many of these sort of nervous hands start to like not really want to hold longs and then push into the end of the day. We've seen again today where the market was upside, tried to get faded there at the end of the day, winds up, you know, closing okay, not really near the highs, but close enough to that. The IWM though, Chris, aren't we worried about a little bit more macro ideas there? Because you had heard maybe in the green room there, we had said that this is not that rate cut cycle that a lot of us thought we were going to be entering. I don't know if you're feeling any pressures there in the United States. Great call there on uranium, and I like that joke about blowing up. But at the end of the day, the IWM, that's why I asked you about what time frame you had there, because we are well off of that 200 period moving average. For me, I don't want to catch this falling knife at all, because here's IWM right now. So there's the 200 as you mentioned, and we're back down here. You think it's a good buy down there? Like I don't.
No, I'm looking at it as a tell of how far the ES could go down.
Right. Okay. So you think that there's going to be continuation
on the right? You see the ES was way above the 200. And now if you take, let's say, the 27th of September, and you'll see the Russell decisively broke, so the ES followed. And this looks real similar to now, doesn't it? And what happened, though, and this is where the next short setup came up, is when the Russell stabilized, the ES got to the 200 and then had a sharp rally. But the short entry was when the ES got overbought after the break. So it got overbought on the MACD here and got right to the trend line. And that was a good sale. It got destroyed after that in 2 weeks. Look at this. Wow. So about 10%.
Chris,
it went up after that. And one of the reasons is, and a lot of people ask, why did the Russell go down that much? Like on how high it was over the 200. And the ES really only went to the 200. It's because of big buybacks. There are a lot more buybacks in the ES than the Russell, and most of the buybacks started in earnest right around November 1st. You're going to see that on the right, if you take, let's say, November 8th, look what the ES did now. It exploded because the Russell stopped going down and you had buybacks. So just keep in mind that 5 weeks prior to earnings, companies voluntarily don't buy back stock. And you're getting there. JP Morgan's buyback blackout starts next week.
We do have.
I think you're going to get a bounce that gets overbought. And then you have another leg down when they can't buy back stock.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are looking to lighten up on some of their positions, because I think a lot of us, I mean, me included, are probably overweighted some of those Mag 7s because it's been such a great momentum trade. And as you could see there, if the S&P loses that 200 period moving average, it will be, you know, on the back of some of these big names. The triple Qs right now making a move up. Adara, what do we got?
So we have comments here from Howard Lutnick. This is the U.S. Commerce Secretary right now, saying that Trump might roll back Canada and Mexico tariffs tomorrow, might meet them halfway, and might make a compromise. He's made this a lot of different ways. He also said the tariffs compromise announcement is likely tomorrow, but I want to provide a huge caveat. Lutnick has been wrong before. He said, Trump's going to talk to Xi right away, and that has never happened to our knowledge. So I want to be careful. Lutnick is in no way necessarily a reliable source, but could be a good indicator here of Trump's sentiment and specifically how the administration is feeling.
Adara, thank you for that news. Chris, I can't even take this anymore, honestly, because as a day trader, like, you know, I don't have a pacemaker. I don't have any problems with that. I'm still a pretty young guy. But this back and forth here is giving me heart attacks, intraday trading. I wonder if, like, look, if you could see here, like the Qs absolutely 503 all the way down to 495. Look at a name like Tesla right here at the end of the day. It has this huge move early, right? Up to 278, right down into 263, all the way back up to 285. And then at the end of the day, starting at about 330, we give back like pretty much the whole day again, all the way back into 270, only to get back upside now into 277. Do you think that we're over exaggerating and getting too excited intraday a little bit here? Because this tariff could get pulled back, as we're hearing right now. What's your opinion on what traders should do if they're nervous? Are we sitting on our hands? Are we buying dips? Are we shorting pops?
Don't laugh, but this kind of sloppiness that just has these air holes and it comes back is usually a sign of a bottom.
Yep.
So that's why I think you're going to start. If the Russell can stabilize, I think you'll see the ES bounce off that 200.
TLT.
And it's not necessarily that the 200 supporting the NASDAQ or the ES, it's the multiple prior tops become support. So a lot of times it overshoots the 200, but that's it because then it hits the price support. So I think the 200 is a little over analyzed. But I'll tell you, by the way, we came in short the banks and came in short the credit cards like Visa.
Beauty.
Because heck, if consumer spending's going down, reflected in Target and Walmart, why should the credit card stocks go up? And then the other is Visa is so far over its 20 moving average and the 50. That's why we were short Visa. And JP Morgan,
Oh, yeah.
it was just over its moving averages as well. So that's why we were short.
No, great call there. I've been sort of pushing the same thought here with Starbucks. I mean, I thought if you look at Starbucks over here, we got a Brecher ledge right here, maybe. Shout out to you. Trying to break below. I'd commented here, look how far Starbucks is, again, a consumer name. If the consumer starts seeing some price impacts, starting hitting their wallet a little bit, do they start to not spend $7 or $8 per drink? Plus, we have China worries as well. I think Starbucks does have a push back downside there as well. So, yeah. All right. Buyback's going to be important. We know Apple has a big buyback in it as well. So Apple recently been holding out pretty good. These guys are nowhere near their 200 period. That could be an exciting play as well as we get into the downside of that. Today we had IBIT. I don't talk too much crypto with you. Oh, by the way, I know you're a bonds guy. Check out bonds right now, Chris. They're starting to go to the downside. TLT right here in after hours as we get word maybe of, it's not word of a deal, but you know, maybe some of these tariffs do come back here, and maybe there's going to be a less of a flight to safety here. TLT, the 20-year Treasury down here after hours with a nice move in. You think bonds are overdone to the upside here?
Funny, you know, I have a lot of followers on Stock Twitch.
Yes, sir.
We shorted TLT today right at the 200 on the right.
Yep.
That's the good news. The bad news is we made almost a point. So that was good. We bought puts. We bought the March 21st 95 puts at like 283. We sold them around 360 and now they're $4. But, you know, you talked about the ES going to 200 to the 200. The TLT's in a long-term bear market now. So it seemed like a logical place to short it at when it's overbought at the 200. So that's why we shorted it.
You've been in the game a while, Chris. What do you think about gold at these levels? We had broken out into all-time highs. We're not too far away from it right now. Unfortunately, I can only track with the Trade Ideas software. I can only track ETFs, so I don't have spot gold. But 270 and change. You know, we know that that's related to spot price. So we're right near all-time highs right now of GLD. Generally speaking, gold has been a flight to safety. Those worried about some of their equity positions, they could hedge out with some gold. Do you still like that idea?
Yeah, it's I think a lot has to do with that gold went up when the dollar was going up, and when the dollar gets nailed, they really went for gold. But then it's hindsight, but you see on the right the MACD at the bottom, it's oversold in an uptrend. That's a buy signal. So gold could go definitely a lot higher. And the reason I think the dollar's going down, I think bonds and a lot of U.S. assets that foreign people are going to be selling, and they have to sell the dollar because most of it's denominated in U.S. dollars. So the second highest holder of bonds is China.
Okay, yeah, makes sense there. Do you like that? You like FXI? I mean, we've had some people on our show here again. FXI, of course, the China 100 ETF, I don't know if it's 100, but it's the large cap ETF right there in China. There was a lot of worry coming in as soon as Donald was, I guess the new administration came in. We were a little worried there. You could see since October, I mean, this is right here, the election. We did have that high, and then we faded out quite nicely, down about 10% or so on early worries that this administration would be negative for China. We did see more tariff talks come through with that. We did have a huge top made right here at 36, and now the pullback. For me, I'm going to turn bearish a little bit on China. I think that a lot of the move up has been associated with an Alibaba and some cheap AI names coming into play with DeepSeek and doing everything at a tenth of the price. I'm not sure that's the truth. Any thoughts there on China or any names that you're looking at in that space?
Well, the good news is beginning of the year, I came up with crazy ideas for 2025, and I was showing the buy idea at 31.5 in FXI because it didn't make any sense. I mean, why would that happen? And it went up. Now I think you're right. I mean, you got to look at those gap fills around 32.5, and then maybe I'll be interested on the long side. But I think you're right. If everything goes down everywhere, they'll probably get to that as well.
All right, a lot of people are scared about, this huge potential flush coming in the market. I'm glad you came on the show. We talked about some of the pressure points there, the 200-period moving average. We'll look out for that on the SPY. Is there anything you want to leave our viewers with here today? We had 7,000 to begin with, a couple thousand still sticking around.
I'm amazed that anybody stuck around. No, just kidding. The way I look at it is I wouldn't be surprised if now you work off a lot of fear by going to any kind of neckline on the ES and then getting the MACD overbought and everybody getting a false sense of security, and then you go to new lows. So I personally think this is near the low for now.
Okay.
And I think the Russell needs to stabilize, but if it's like 2023, if the Russell stabilizes, I think you'll see the ES have a sharp rally. I know that's opposite everybody else, but that's what I think.
All right, Chris Brecher, thank you so much again for coming through. You mentioned that you're always on Stock Twits there. You have anything coming up, any sort of webinars or anything that you want to let our viewers know?
Yeah, that's another thing that probably we're near intermediate bottom, because next week they're going to promote my class at the Art of Selling Short that I did last year.
Right.
So it's probably near the bottom
so humble.
temporarily. But there's a class, I did a premium class on the Art of Selling Short, which is come in pretty handy.
Perfect. So if anyone wants to check that out, go find you. I guess the best place to find you is probably on Stock Twits there. So go look for Chris Brecher over on Stock Twits. Thank you so much for coming in last minute for us. I know our audience really loves some of that analysis there. So Chris Brecher, have yourself a great couple days, couple weeks, and we hope to get you back on the show pretty soon.
All right. Thank you.
Ciao. All righty then, Miss Adara. We did have Box come through there. I didn't want to interrupt.
I mentioned Box, I think, already. Anyway.
Oh, did you? Okay, yeah. I didn't want to interrupt Chris, but there it is, down into $31. The other name that we had there today was, I want to thank Chris Brecher for coming through again on that one. So 366 with a nice little downside. And again, the positive comments in the chat for Chris, we really appreciate that. CrowdStrike downside still. Was there anything else? What was the other big names? We had Ross.
I mentioned ChargePoint as well in the chat.
What did that do?
In-line earnings per share, losses of 14 cents per share as expected. They had sales 101.89 mil. That beat estimates of 101.7 mil. And then their Q1 revenue guidance, the midpoint of this would be 100 million. It did miss estimates of 101.53 mil. So that is ChargePoint. Also, we had a super chat at the start of the show that I wasn't able to get to. Thank you so much to Keel Lin for the $4.99 super chat for coffee. Thank you very much, Keel Lin. Hope you had a great day. Thank you all for everything you do for all of us. In case people were asking, why did the market move up? Just to repeat, Commerce Secretary of the U.S. Howard Lutnick made some comments. And keep in mind, pure speculation. He worded it as such, saying Trump will probably make an announcement about some compromise when it comes to Canada and Mexico tariffs. Though he did actually badmouth Canada in the same sentence. So it seems unclear if he even wants or thinks this is likely to happen. But he said Trump probably will have some kind of compromise. He also worded it as meet them halfway. He worded it at least 3 different ways, and all of the meanings of them seem to be different. So I do always want to express caution. Howard Lutnick has done this before. He said, Trump will be talking to Xi imminently, and then the market moved up, and then it turns out that never happened to our knowledge. So I would always, whenever we have stuff that's not coming from the horse's mouth itself, be careful.
I do want to just quickly go here. Let's just go calculation. Let's hit this little thing. I don't have too many things up here right now, but this was from yesterday. Top 10 traders at Real Trading from yesterday. Then we'll do roll call. Then we'll fly out of here. All right. Yesterday was a big day, man. Someone in the Amex NASDAQ made what the hell? $84,000 US yesterday someone made, Adara?
Wow.
Okay, that's a salary right there in
person,
one
go.
day. Someone else, $53,000. I need to figure out these trade lists right here. Amex coming through, 18, right? Most likely SPY, most likely futures, most likely TQQ on the NASDAQ. There it is. Whoa, oops. 17, 14. Someone in Canada. I don't have the O Canada thing there. Good days.
Oh, Canada.
I mean, we could always, continue to sing. I mean, I don't know if people
I don't need
heard.
to do that. Nor does anyone want me to.
Time's up. All right, so here we go. We have such a great time around here. Like, honestly, in the morning times, we'll start playing some music. Adara will just blast out. You pretty much know every song. I think you know at least a few lines of every song.
That is not untrue. And I've been known to do this at parties too.
Right.
I'll put it that way.
Yeah, that would be absolutely wild. I hope that one day we're able to do a Trader TV Live meet and greet. Neil's been saying that he's been would be organizing that for I now think 2 or 3 years. So bug Neil about that one. But right now, let's go roll call. I think we already did that. We're going to do it again right now. So I do want to say thank you so much to Joseph Birch, who's here. Matt C is here as well. He says, yo, Professor Love. Apparently, I just saw Bears vs. Bulls say, happy birthday to you, Professor Love. So if it is your birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to anybody who's celebrating their birthday this week, not just today. Good week to celebrate. You too, Chilean? No, okay. Los Polos Hermanos, man. Go grab some of that chicken, I believe, with a lot of love right there. Voice of an angel, says Tez.
Well,
probably talking about you, not me. So right there, thank you for that as well. Arjun is here as well. Howdy, Mr. Thumbs Up. Hi, Stevenson, as well, and everybody else out there. A lot of people shouting you out, so why don't you say hi to some people?
Yeah, thank you to Garab, thank you to Vecna, thank you to Amigo Edge, thank you to Bilbo Bagholder, Jill Wittenberg, Thomas, Professor Love, Wrong Way, Bears vs. Bulls, thank you for everything you do. Mad Wordle, we had DJ Freddie K, Corey, Arjun, Pitchbull, Chef Joe, and TS Booger. And Chef Joe, I mean, awesome to actually be able to talk to you in that Zoom that time. So thank you so much for our awesome community. And you know what? Tomorrow is a new day. And there's new stocks to trade. And probably new tariff things. So make sure you're with it.
Yeah. Thank you, Dara, for all her work today as we have her live on, just literally at this desk.
Always.
Kind of glued there, waiting for that news to drop. And we want to thank her for all that. I hear all throughout the day, throw it to me, breaking news. So there's lots of news happening.
So much news.
Yeah, we want to thank you, Dara, for that. Thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you, Chris Brecher. Big shout out to Bears vs. Bulls. Fabian, sorry I ran this a little bit late, but, we don't really get paid by the hour. Maybe we should negotiate that, Adara, and then, we'll stay. Okay, we got to go. All right, Adara, this is a potato.
That's a potato.
You can say something else. Yeah, sweet potato, maybe sweet potato fries.
Yam.
Would you ever get, so I don't really do the upgrade to the sweet potato fries.
I don't.
Yeah,
I have a lot of people who exclusively will do that.
Right.
My thing is, I don't care. I like Caesar salad. That's usually the upgrade I'll get.
Yes. Good one. I like the salad choice as well. All right, for everybody here at Trader TV Live, make sure you join Adara, myself, Neil, Sharif, Joe, all of our tech team, Andre, everybody that's with us, Brendan, tomorrow for sure, because we're back here at 8:30. For both of us for now, and for Bears vs. Bulls, ciao. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
And that's a wrap.